attention. Watch full throttle, baby, ready to blow. We passing poker up to Jupiter. We got your attention. You can tune in anywhere, but listen at your discretion. To the legend, Mr. Hochman can stop him, each of the deuce. My brother got his own hot burger at Tucker Deuce. Now my rush more of these sports, spitting the truth. It's Channing Crowder, greatest Dolphins, who rock the 52. Solana one best of Miami, the voice of FIU. We reppin' to Miami, the Heat and the Panthers too. We reppin' for the Marlins, the Dolphins, that's how we do. We reppin' for the Queens, so it's always about the you. Hey Jimmy, please get a Pell on the phone and tell him that it's on. I finally got his name on the song. Can't do him wrong, cause it sounds so sweet. You speak the facts while I keep the crowd on their feet. Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey, show. Welcome to the show.
Live from the Play Show, yet not overly ostentatious studios of 104.3 WQAM, it's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Mark Hochman starts his vacation today, so you get your boy Zach Gelb here on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. I know that Alejandro Solana is extremely happy about that. You can give him a follow on the good old cesspool of Twitter, on Instagram, or both straight flexing at Alex M. Solana. You can get at me at Zach Gelb. That's ZACHGELB. You could also find Crowder at Official Crowder, and you can hit us up on the text line 305-567-056. You can always visit our website, WQAM.com. Jared Greenberg does a good job, TNT, covering a bunch of basketball. He's going to stop by in 25 minutes from now, and we'll get into the Miami Heat. Jimmy back in the studio. We'll get into his sickness coming up later in the show, some hellacious takes from Solana. I'll even do a little loyalty test that I have a loyalty oath that I'm going to issue to Solana. But Solana, how are you today on this Friday?
I'm good. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, Gelb. I'm not thrilled to be talking to Mr. Nick, Mr. New York for the next couple days, but hey, it's all right. Knicks are gonna lose, and I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals when it's here. But I love a Game 7, so sign me up for a Game 7.
So we're waiting on Crowder, and I've done this show long enough where when you're a big enough star like Channing Crowder, you could arrive late and you could leave early. That's what I've kind of learned. So
yep,
I want to dabble into the gambling world here. If I set the over-under of 7.5 minutes, do you think Channing is here in over-under 7.5 minutes from now?
From right now or from 2 o'clock when the show?
From right now.
From right now. So that would be at about 2:11, right? 2:11 and change. I'd say under. I think he's here by then.
I just started the timer. We are 1 second, 2 second, 3 second in.
Okay.
We will see if by 7.5 minutes from now, Channing Crowder will make his triumphant return to the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show.
So Crowder typically does a good job. Like if he's going to miss the entire first segment, he'll just text us, hey, I'll be there at X time. But when he's just, my guess is ran to the gas station, ran into, I don't know, Cleo Lemon, and they're just chopping it up. Crowder's calling him big dog, and they're just exchanging nonsense. And then he looks down at his clock. He's like, oh, it's 1:59. I'm supposed to do my job.
Gotta get to the show.
So now he's probably listening to us. He's stuck at a red light. Then, he's got IBS, Gelb. So then he's got to take care of business on the toilet. And then he's able to sit down and jump on the show with us.
Maybe we should just get him a catheter.
No complaints out of me. I'd love to make fun of somebody who's wearing
a diaper and a catheter.
Show.
Maybe we just get him both. So that way he could just sit there, do the show with us. He spews enough crap anyway, so we may as well just have him clogged up.
You do know that Crowder is known as the NFL player who revealed that he would just pee on himself.
Yes.
During games. Just
him and Ross Tucker, they would both do that. They would just go doo-doo and pee-pee in their underwear.
Would Ross Tucker do that too? I don't remember Ross Tucker admitting that. Wow.
Ross, when he was filling in for the Dan Patrick show one day, just admit that he would openly just urinate in his pants while blocking people.
I think, Crowder caught a lot of flack for that. And it remains a punchline, and people love to just hate on him for it. My guess is a lot of NFL players are doing that.
Okay. When you go to the beach, I can't believe this is how we're starting the show, but this is why I love doing the show, because it's not a traditional sports talk radio show where it's just, hey, give us a call. We'll talk about the Miami Hurricanes. We'll squeeze in the Miami Heat, and we'll talk about the Marlins and Jimmy's love for the fish. Like, that's not what this show is. This show, we have fun. You go to the beach, right?
Yep.
You have to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
You go in the ocean. How do you go to the bathroom as a man in the ocean?
What do you mean, how?
How do you go?
Are there multiple ways? Are we talking about like we gotta pee?
Yes, you have to pee. You know?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not taking a dump in the ocean, okay? I'll go to a porta potty or something.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think every South Floridian probably has, but that's not like commonplace. Yeah, I just pee in my bathing suit. I mean, is there another option? Are there other ways to do this?
This was a big debate this past Memorial Day weekend.
Huh.
My girlfriend saw me go into the ocean because I had to urinate. And she goes, you go like really far into the ocean. And I'm 6'4".
Gelb, don't tell me you're lowering.
I lower the
bathing
pants.
suit. Oh my God.
I lower my
What are you
pants,
doing,
wiener out,
Gelb?
and I pish in the ocean. That's what I do.
You go no bun, and you just pull out the glizzy.
No.
Right into the ocean.
I got big buns, but you can't see my buns because I am fully in the water. I had on these swim trunks, bathing suit that had compression shorts built inside of it. I know the water would get on it, but I didn't want to directly urinate into them. So
Yeah.
I had to pull my wiener out.
I understand that. Like, I've thought about that. I just peed.
Needed 2 hands, by the way.
Oh, I doubt that. I've thought about this. Yeah, I'm peeing directly into my bathing
It's a little
suit
gross.
in my swim trunks, and then I'm just gonna hang out for the rest of the
Right.
day in these swim trunks. But here's the thing: one, I really
The
don't
water
care.
washes it away.
And two, yeah, the salt water is it's nature's fabuloso. You know, like it's gonna do the job, man. You're gonna be okay.
Okay, so you just pee directly into the bathing suit.
I went to the beach on Saturday for Memorial Day weekend as well. I was wearing my bathing suits were dirty because I'd gone to the beach the weekend before, so I was just wearing like gym shorts, but the ones that have the built-in compressions, like you're talking about. And yeah, like it's probably a little disgusting, but I walk right into the ocean, and I just do what I got to do.
433, by the way. So if you're placing your bets at home, the under hits on when Channing Crowder will show up. I thought it was going to be 7 minutes and 30 seconds, my friend. I did.
I had to come, man. I was at a batting practice with Lil Chan. We got caught talking about reclassing, all kind of foolishness.
So your son's going more baseball than football?
Yes. We're not a big football family.
Yeah, I guess already enough CTE with you. You don't want to pass it along to your kids, right?
Yeah, my wife sees how my brain works. She's like, yeah, let's stay away from that sport.
Okay, we are talking about wieners to open up the show.
Excuse me?
When you like wieners, like Johnson's, hogs,
Peter Wees?
like
Swipes?
your male part.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm more advantageous than probably all three of y'all.
I think I upped the average today, me being in over Hawk, if I'm just being honest.
Well,
I guarantee you up the average.
You went from a small Jew to a big Jew.
yeah, but you've still
and
got
I'm good on the horror, by the way. I'm a great lifter in the chairs.
you've still got a very small Jew sitting right here, brother. Very, very small Jew.
I forgot. I always forget Solana's Jewish. So Memorial Day weekend, I was at the beach. I'm wearing a bathing suit with compression shorts. And I had to go to the bathroom. So I go into the ocean. And my girlfriend was like, you go very deep into the ocean. When you go to the bathroom in the ocean, do you take your wiener out, or you just go right into the bathing suit?
No.
You go right into the bathing suit?
Yeah, you can't get naked in the beach.
No, but you're deep in the ocean. Like it's
No.
covered.
Gelb, you take your drawers off in the beach.
Lower them.
That's crazy. You get down low enough, waist deep, you pee, and then the water rinses it off.
I never thought I'd hit the bottom of the ocean, if I'm being honest with you, Channing, but I finally did.
No, that's illegal.
Okay. They didn't arrest me in Oak Island. All right.
No.
Maybe I won't be asked back in North Carolina. Maybe I got to try that next time I go to the ocean.
Yeah, but you don't unclothe at the beach, man. No matter where you are.
Crazy, right? Like I couldn't believe he was walking me down a path where he was going to admit he goes into the water and pulls down his trunks and he's got his hog out to pee in the ocean. Like, just pee like a man.
So
just pee.
So that became a topic of the group that I was with. And I said to my girlfriend, I'm like, you better not bring it up. Like, don't bring it up. Like, I don't throw you under the bus for whatever you do. Don't. So I go out to pee, and of course she throws me under the bus, and everyone was like amazed by it. And I thought that was just normal.
But you don't do like, for example, I went to the beach with on Saturday with a bunch of my buddies. We're a big group, and guys and girls, everybody's married with their fiance, whatever. What happens if you're in the water and you got your koozie with your brewski out there? You're just kind of you're just hanging out.
You're koozie with your brewski. We don't let him get away with that, Gil.
Are we talking about Teddy or like what are we doing here?
Sorry, I'm a douchebag, but you're just hanging out, right?
Tell
in
me
the
something
water.
I didn't know.
What happens if at that moment you have to pee? What you're gonna be like? Oh, be right back. Hold my brewski. I'm gonna go take a swim, and you're swimming 100 yards away from everybody to pull down your pants. Like, the best part about being in the ocean is, oh, I'm in the water. Oh, I'm next to people. Whatever. Like, they don't know. I'm just gonna let this one go real quick.
Yeah, no, I've always been a pull the draws down.
Crazy.
But just there's
what did Greg Olson say? Like, my third leg, you or whatever, in the seventh floor crew. That's basically what happens with me in the ocean.
Third leg Greg.
Yeah.
There's some kids playing catch to your right. There's the couple that's hugging, and it's always that couple that's hugging to the left. And now I'm standing there naked, urinating.
No,
Gelby, you're wrong with this.
I'm 6 foot. I go deep out in the ocean where people think I'm not coming back. And then I don't like, I'm not standing right next to Solana and say, hey, you want to see something? Like, no, I'm far away from people. And I face the opposite way of where the sand is.
Solana, surprise. I don't know about this, Gelby.
Ta-da! By the way, Jared Greenberg's going to join us coming up at 2:25.
I dare
John
you.
Kuhn is also going to join us at 3:25.
I dare you to ask Jared Greenberg how he pees in the ocean. I dare you, Gelb. I dare you.
But
maybe to John Kuhn. I don't know about Greenberg.
Everybody does it though. It's so like, who's going to a porta potty when you're at the beach with swim trunks on?
You know what? I used to be the voice for the voiceless during Thanksgiving. Everyone loves turkey. I hate turkey. I love lasagna. And people then would message me like, "Oh, it's great for you speaking up on this cause." Maybe now this is the new charge that I take up on.
You should.
But wait,
not getting naked by the kids playing catch.
No. That's not what happens here. Come on, that makes you make me sound like creepy here. There's no children around.
Gelb, it's creepy for you to be naked at the beach.
I'm not naked. I'm under the water.
Not only that, I think now that I'm playing this out in my head, there is a part of me as somebody who grew up in Miami, going to the beach. I go on boats. I go to the Keys. There's still part of me. And I know Crowder is going to call me soft, but I get in the ocean, especially the deeper I go out, that is still a little afraid of like a shark or a fish coming, and just take a little nibble. Just to
imagine if that's how I lose my peace.
Well, I mean,
Shark.
Gelb, you're pulling out your pieces, and
just one piece.
Anything could go. Anything could happen out there, man. Anything.
I did lose my sunglasses, by the way, in the ocean this weekend. My prescription sunglasses. I was so annoyed.
This shark is a sniper to be able to find that little wiggle worm in all of that water.
Eels.
You guys make some good points. Maybe I'll change. I'm going down to Margate, the Jersey Shore, at the end of June. Maybe I'll try it then. Anyway,
you just pee and then you just let the water rinse you off, and then you go back up and grab your brewski and your koozie. I guess I don't know what that
I don't know.
means.
Right into the compression shorts, though. I didn't want to sit in it all day. If I'm just being honest.
Did you ever heard my story? Where I sprained my hamstring.
No. What did you do?
There's neoprene. So you know the story. It's been out there for years. Where I used to pee down my leg when I played.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At one time, I sprained my hamstring and I had these neoprene shorts on. And my habit was just to pee down my leg. But the neoprene sticks to you. Nothing can get out. So I start peeing like usual. And then it starts sloshing around. And I was like, this is different. This doesn't feel right because this is sloshing around in my.
But you only got slushies at the gas station,
Yeah. So I had to pull the neoprene out to let it drain and then wash it off. I was, even I'm nasty, but that disgusted me.
Did you ever think about wearing a diaper when you played?
No, but Gelby, I was hydrating. I was at full hydration as one of the top athletes in the world. I had to hydrate.
Let's settle to one of the top athletes in the world. Let's calm down. You were no Adrian Peterson.
So here you go, Gail, because now Solana's going to be on your side. One of 32 starting middle linebackers in the entire world. One of 32 of 9 billion. That's not elite.
Oh, yeah. I guess you are right when you say it that way. You're elite. To us as Boomer Esiason would say, non-athletic regular people. But in the world of actual athletic people, you were good. You were solid. You were there.
Did Peyton Manning, was he concerned with me on a Saturday at night?
No.
Maybe, probably not. No.
He was like, thank God it's not Ray Lewis or Urlacher. Let's be real.
You don't even start, Solana, because you know I can find you.
Why? But Solana's an elite pickleball player, right?
I've got my my medals right behind me, my first place medals.
Where'd you get those off of Amazon?
Nah, don't do that, Gelby. Don't do that.
I'm gonna send you the pictures of the people he plays against.
Yeah, it's my bubby, all right?
Oh. Bubby.
It's my grandmother who's been dead for 2 years. That's who he goes up against. Dusts her off and beats her in pickleball. So just, I'm going to circle back to this. I know we got to get to a break eventually, and we'll bring on Jared Greenberg. I want everyone to have a different answer. Like I heard you guys yesterday, all these experts think the Dolphins are going to stink. Like we could sit here and just be like, oh, the Dolphin season, they're going to be terrible, blah, blah, blah. Who's the one person, Channing, that just give me the name, and then we'll further explain it later. Who's the one person you need to see this year have success with the Miami Dolphins?
Whew. That's a hell of a question. Need to have success for my acceptance of the regime change, my acceptance of the 5
however you want to interpret
season.
It. Just one person, Channing Crowder, needs to see have a successful season this year for the Miami Dolphins.
Gelb, I would say Halfley. I want to see a scheme that when we do have $150 million more in salary money, and we do construct a roster that can compete against the top teams, this scheme can work. I would like to see the coaching staff be extremely competent, because we saw what happened with McDaniel, and this roster is not going to light the world on fire.
Solana?
I know you want one name, but I'm going to give you two couched under the 2 first-round draft picks, Caden Proctor and Chris Johnson. And I know I'm kind of not playing the game the right way, but to me, and I'll explain it later, but to me, those two looking good as rookies is as important as anything this season for the Miami Dolphins.
So my answer was Halfley. And here's something that I thought about. In the beginning stages of the Flores era, they were supposed to be tanking for Tua, and then Joe Burrow emerged, and they won more games than anyone thought they were, and they got moved down the draft board. They ended up getting Tua, but they didn't get the first quarterback in that draft class in Joe Burrow. I would like to see Halfley show some of that Brian Flores in year one, but then also there's part of me that goes, well, if they do that, then they'll be out of Arch Manning or Dante Moore. So I kind of think this year you want to see Halfley have the team close in the fourth quarter, and then with 4 minutes to go, he just becomes the worst coach in the league.
Yeah, Gelby, I guess I'm with you. Like I said, that was my answer. The strategy, the structure. You bring up Flores and Tua are arguing. Then you bring in McDaniel, and they're taking pool tables and ping pong tables in and out of the locker room. I literally don't want to hear about any of that anymore. That's not a successful team. You never hear about Andy Reid not wanting Papa Shot. Like that, the success of it, but the structure of that. And then I've said, I don't know if you heard it, Gelby. People that want to track meet, I watched Green Bay. They're not track meeting.
No.
They are going to run the ball, play strong defense, and try to win those fourth quarter games. And talent usually takes over in the fourth quarter, to your point. But I think the structure of this organization needs to change with Hafley and Sully.
All right, let's get the headlines with Solana real quickly.
All right, yeah, they're driven by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Los Marlins. They open up a 3-game weekend series at the New York Mets. Tonight, Max Meyer gets the nod. First pitch is at 7:10. Listen to the game right here on FM 104.3 WQAM. And we do have a Game 7, fellas. The Oklahoma City Thunder got rocked yesterday by the San Antonio Spurs. So Game 7 will be tomorrow. I cannot wait. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid-70s. That weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate.
I promise you we will not talk about my Len Weiner anymore throughout the duration of the show. Jared Greenberg's going to join us on the other side. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk right here on 104.3 WQAM.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana show.
And he kicks people in the penis.
Got what you...
Great selection of the rejoin there, Jimbo. Well done.
Alrighty, welcome back in 104.3 WQAM. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Mark Hochman today on this Friday. Cigar lovers, we've got a chance for you to win sold-out VIP tickets to Drew Estates, Florida Barn Smoker this November. Throughout the day, you'll enjoy premium and VIP cigars, curated food and beverage experiences, food trucks, drinks, and more. To enter, text the word Barn Smoker to 20357. That's Barn Smoker to 20357. Must be 21 plus to enter and attend. Valid ID required at event registration. Also, now we'll go out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Jared Greenberg, who does a great job talking basketball for TNT. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. You could shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Jared Greenberg from TNT, appreciate the time. How are you?
How many sponsors you got? I mean, for the amount of reads you're doing leading into me, I should get a cut of that. Jesus.
Good sales department here. Got no issue with it, especially with the state of the business these days, Jared.
Pile it up. 2 o'clock hour.
Let me start you off with Giannis Antetokounmpo, because let's be real, that's all we care about here in Miami these days is if he's going to be.
What do you guys think?
I think he's going to be on the Heat. I don't think the Celtics are going to snag Giannis, and I think that you're going to have Giannis getting traded to South Beach.
You guys think you can give up Terry Rozier for him straight up? You think that's how it's going to work?
Man, that's going to cut it, Jared.
I think
I'll gamble on it.
I think Terry Rozier wants a cut of one of our liners too. Greenberg.
Yeah, no question. Wow.
Is Jared, is Miami like a loved place still? Because we down here we think, oh, Pat Riley, Spo, everybody wants to play down here, and at South Beach you have a beautiful city, you have a great GM, you have a great coach. Is it really what we think about?
Well, listen, the national perspective on Miami is clear. We love to visit Miami. In fact, I wish I was in paradise right now with the weather we've been having just north of you in Atlanta, where it's been nothing but cloudy and rainy for 2 straight weeks. So I wish I was there. And we envy a lot of, or some of the history you had, over in Miami sports. It's the media that most people just don't like in Miami because you guys.
Yeah, that Ira Winderman, what a bastard.
No, well, Ira is like my uncle that I love. I love Ira, but the cheerleading is what gets people around the country from the Miami, about Miami sports.
Well, you're talking to the number one cheerleader here. Great to meet you, Jared. No, but
are your pom poms in your hand while you're asking this, or no?
And I'm wearing a skirt. Actually, yeah.
Hey, you do whatever you got to do on a Friday, right?
Just to circle back to the Giannis thing. Is Giannis and Bam, those two, are they a formidable duo in the Eastern Conference that can contend if this trade that a lot of Heat fans are expecting to happens?
Yeah, I think so. I think, listen, all kidding aside, I think people would love to have the stability around the country that Miami's had, from ownership to Pat Riley, down to Eric Spoelstra for the last, decade and a half or whatever it's been, with Spoelstra at the helm. It's, to me, what would get me excited about Giannis with Spo is that Spo has the ability to adapt to a roster and not just play a certain style. What will question me, like the first thing you'd think about, right, with Giannis and Bam is, wow, defensively, and get back to the core of the Miami Heat, how you guys previously were able to win championships by just playing lockdown defense. Well, my question, and this is not me, surmising anything, it's me simply asking a question, is why were the Bucks so bad defensively the last couple of years with Giannis when I get it that they didn't have Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton fell apart, but Giannis was supposed to be this guy that was up there with Bam as one of the top defensive players in the league. Why were they so bad when he was on the court defensively? So my question is, what is his commitment level to that side of the court? And does he need the ball in his hands? I mean, obviously the Heat for the last several years, the issue has been they can't find a point guard, right? They can't find some stability to run their offense and get Bam involved. So I think, yes, that's an amazing starting point, but there is so much more work to be done if that is your core. And keep in mind, what you're going to have to give up to get Giannis is going to cost you a lot of the, fringe pieces, probably more than fringe pieces.
Jared Greenberg here with us. Let's say the Heat don't land Giannis. You hear some speculation about KD. You hear some speculation about Kawhi. I know Kobe Altman came out today and was speaking very positively about Donovan Mitchell staying in Cleveland. What do you think plan B is if Pat swings and misses on Giannis?
Well, listen, I think Kawhi is the perfect fit for Miami because you guys have the history of a guy who doesn't love to play in the regular season and only steps up in the playoffs, and that's Kawhi Leonard, right? That's Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy, Kawhi follows in Jimmy's footsteps. I think absolutely sign him up. Eric Spoelstra knows how to manage that.
And Jared, if they miss on Giannis and like you're saying, Donovan Mitchell and these guys were talking about Kawhi. Is there a point where Bam, in going into his 10th year, should be like, hey fellas, I need to try to win me a chip and I can't do it here?
I don't know. I don't know if we're to that point yet.
Jared Greenberg, let me ask you this. When you look at the playoffs that are going on right now, last night you see the Spurs, Wemby bounce back. They get the victory in the course of Game 7. It was incredible atmosphere in San Antonio. I feel like all along in this series, people go, oh, the Thunder will find a way. Now with it being here with Game 7 tomorrow, how confident are you that the Thunder will find a way tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been on the Thunder bandwagon for the last couple of years, and I would say this, I think we're seeing the next wave of the NBA in front of us in Victor Wembanyama. Typically in this league, as we've seen time and time again, the Heat know this as well as any organization in basketball. You usually have to lose before you win. And while Wembanyama has lost his first 2 regular seasons and never even sniffed the playoffs, typically you need to suffer that heartache and come back with that taste for the next couple of years. But I'm not being a rocket scientist by telling you that if Wemby plays tomorrow night like he did last night, I don't know what Shea and the Thunder can do about it, right? I think they need Wemby to have a down game, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander needs to be a superstar. With that said, I went back today and I looked at this because I was curious. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in Game 7 at the NBA Finals last year against the Indiana Pacers, he was Shea-like, got to the free throw line, had a lot of assists. He had 12 assists, but he was incredibly inefficient from the floor, much like last night he was. I would be stunned if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is not better than obviously he was last night, but then he was better than he was in Game 7 against the Pacers, a game that they were able to win. Why? Because a guy like J-Dub, Jalen Williams, was able to step up, and some other role players had really big games to win the Thunder their first championship. I'm just excited for it, guys. And listen, I just think if you're a sports fan, not even a hardcore NBA fan, to see what we're going to see unfold tomorrow night, even though they're not going to guard each other, but the guy who's the reigning 2-time MVP against the guy who we believe has a chance to win the next 10 MVPs, the next 15 defensive players of the year, and potentially start a dynasty of his own, to go in this game and battle for the right to play the Knicks in the NBA Finals, which I know you guys down in Miami are just going to be waving that flag. You guys are already purchasing them, both probably one for San Antonio, one for OKC, just to pound the brains out of the Knicks. You guys want that in Miami. But it's just exciting to see that tomorrow night, those 2 absolute superstars going head to head.
Yeah, I'm planning a parade down Bird Road at La Carreta. That's where we take the pots and pans in Miami.
Say that again. Roll that for me again.
Yeah, La Carreta, Jared. That's
sexy.
I'm planning well, remember, I'm wearing a skirt, so it just all comes together. I'm planning a parade when the Knicks lose. So I don't even care about the Heat anymore. I'm just rooting against the New York Knicks, and you're welcome to be on my parade float if you'd like to.
Hey, I've gone on record many times, and I have to remain consistent by saying I don't hate anyone's team. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to give my opinions and tell the truth.
But where do you stand? Because we had on Coach Jim Larinaga, the legendary Canes Hoops coach. Yeah, he comes on with us. Yeah, he comes on with us every week. And Wednesday, he came on. It was right after, I believe that was game 5. And he had just had enough. He vented about the flopping, and he wasn't specifically targeting SGA. I know that's kind of like the narrative right now on social media, but he's just kind of sick of watching players fall over the place and kind of just search for contact rather than play the game. Where do you stand on, the criticisms of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and how it seems like he's more worried about getting to the free throw line than actually scoring baskets?
First, let me say this about Coach Larinaga. Love him. He helped me. He doesn't even know this, but he helped me during my younger days of broadcasting because he taught me so much. I had the chance to call some of his games while he was at George Mason before he got to Miami. And I believe you guys need to start getting his son, Jay Larinaga, on the radio because you need to develop that relationship. He's going to be a head coach of the NBA sooner rather than later, and he needs to get more damn interviews to be a head coach of the NBA because he's an absolute genius of a coach right now with the Clippers, and he'll continue to succeed wherever he goes. But with that said, yeah, the flopping, as Adam Silver said, the embellishment, it's a little too much. I think the NBA tried to curb this a couple of years ago by getting in, to some guys like James Harden and Russell Westbrook and those guys who initiate the contact. I'm right, but listen, I'm not trying to bail out the officials. I'm not trying to be an excuse maker for the referees, but we see this stuff in slow-mo replay from 17 different angles. It is so hard for these referees to get that call right. Like the obvious one, the mid-range jumper where De'Aaron Fox just brushed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the other night. I'm sure you guys saw this. In real time, it looks like there's leg-to-leg contact that may be a reason why SGA falls down. You watch it in slow-mo from multiple angles, you're like, oh man, he's clearly flopping. Yes, the players need to stop doing this, but what incentive do they have to stop if it's still going to be called? And how do you get the officials to call this in real time? Because we don't want them going to the monitor every other possession and make it a 4-hour marathon game.
Last thing for you, Jared Greenberg, the Knicks up against the Spurs or OKC. How much of a chance do you give New York?
Well, big blow, obviously, with this Mitchell Robinson news with the broken right pinky. This dude can't ever catch a break. I mean, he's the next big man who finds a way to get hurt every time, every season. It's incredible. I feel bad for him. We'll see. He says he's trying to play through it. If he is hampered at all, that certainly hurts their chances against either team because of the type of bigs that both OKC and San Antonio have. I think the Knicks will do better against San Antonio than they would OKC. I just think the Knicks would match up a little bit better with them. I think that double big lineup against OKC would force the Knicks into some trouble with forcing Cat to guard more than he liked. And I think in either series, Cat is going to have to keep himself out of foul trouble. That's not been a topic of conversation over the last couple of weeks because he's done a nice job and the Knicks have been blowing teams out. But that is going to be magnified in this series. Mark it down, mark the time code on this conversation right now. It is going to be absolutely massive in the NBA Finals that Karl Anthony Towns only comes off the floor because Mike Brown takes him off because he wants to get him a rest, not because he's in foul trouble.
And Jared, what about the narrative? I've heard, the talking heads and all watching TV, where the Knicks, their win point differential and all that stuff is like historic NBA stuff, but the East was weak. It's not that they're that good; it's the East is weak. Almost like did the team lose a game or did the team let them lose a game? How do you feel about that narrative about the Knicks?
I think both things can be true. I think the Knicks were a dominant team. Good teams, great teams beat up on bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do, and the Knicks did their job, right? Yes, Cleveland fell apart, and clearly their flaws and their vulnerabilities were exploited, and we saw that time and time again. I think the way this is a product of the issue the NBA has now is that it's two different seasons. There are regular season teams, and then there are playoff teams. A team like Detroit, like I talked about earlier, needs to lose before they win. They got to first place in the Eastern Conference and earned the 1 seed because they played 82 games like it meant something because they don't know better yet. They're not old enough to be too cool for school in the regular season. Whereas other teams around the league take the regular season, easy and then know they can turn it up in the postseason. And sometimes you're able to, and sometimes you're not. I think the fact that we didn't get to see, a great Knicks Celtics series is the disappointment here, because of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being healthy, that would have been the test that really would have been a barometer, that would have a litmus test for the Knicks. Both things are true. The East was circumstantially weak this year, whereas the West much stronger, and the Knicks are, listen, you can say all you want about the talking head. You can disagree that the Knicks weren't that good, or you can think the Knicks are historically one of the great playoff teams of all time. Guess what? The great thing about this is they're going to have an opportunity to show it over the course of a 7-game series starting next week against a great team in Oklahoma City or an all-time potential great in Victor Wembanyama.
He's TNT's own Jared Greenberg. Jared, appreciate the time. Enjoy the weekend.
Appreciate you guys having me on, and let me know if anybody wants to give me a room down in Miami to hang out for the weekend.
There you go. Maybe we'll get some Joe Stone Crab or
stay at the house,
Carbone
bro.
into one Jared Greenberg. There's Jared Greenberg joining us right there from TNT. We'll take a break. When we come on back, we got some NBA news that we'll get to on the other side. Also, I have a loyalty oath test question for Alejandro Solana, and I'm just curious what his answer is going to be. It's Hawk, Crowder, Solana, Hawk out, Gelbin for Mark Hochman, and we're coming on back on 104.3 QAM right after these short messages.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Who would be interested in Abuela Danger?
Hochman, Crowder, Solana on a Friday. Zach Gelb for Mark Hochman. Shams Charania, the Orlando Magic, have finalized the deal, or they're finalizing a deal to hire Spurs associate Sean Sweeney. I kind of feel like that means Billy Donovan is out of luck here, Solana. And if you're a college basketball fan, maybe Billy Donovan is next year at Kentucky if Mark Pope gets fired, or I still think Jock Vaughn's going to eventually one day take over because they usually like to do that in-house at Kansas. But who knows how much longer Bill Self is going to be roaming the sidelines there with this health situation and that being a back-and-forth thing. So no Billy Donovan to Orlando. He didn't go home to Orlando. Remember, we had the job for about like a week when many years ago.
Was it even a week? I
don't even know if it was that long.
It was like 48 hours, 72 hours.
Like
and he's
Belichick
like,
with the Jets.
Right. And he's like, actually, I'd rather go back to where I won 2 national titles. Bro, that Pop coaching tree is everywhere right now in the NBA, right? Like it's unbelievable how many people that were just under Pop, worked for the Spurs, are getting jobs like everywhere.
It's like in the NFL. If you've ever had a sip of coffee with Sean McVay, you get a job. If you ever had break bread with Greg Popovich, you get a job. From Mark Stein and Jake Fisher, the Cavs are unlikely to trade Evan Mobley for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Quote, another obstacle for the Bucks. Mobley at 24 is regarded in Cleveland as the sort of player who could offer a legitimate bridge to a successful post-Donovan Mitchell future. The Cavaliers, remembering how hard life was after James walked away from the franchise twice, are obviously reluctant to surrender Mobley and the staying power he is projected to represent unless it's a sure thing trade, end close quotes. And then Steve Bulpett, who covers the Celtics, I think since like 1985, while the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation remains fluid, a league source stated flatly there have been no direct talks between the Bucks and Boston. If he does not stay with Milwaukee, it's increasingly likely this could wind up being solved with the deal involving multiple teams. I don't think Boston's getting Giannis right now. I don't think the Cavs are getting Giannis. I do think Giannis is going to the Miami Heat. I know that you've been a big proponent, Solana, of the Heat actually getting Donovan Mitchell over Giannis. And you heard Kobe Altman speak today and give an endorsement, but who knows? Like, he's not going to come on out and say, hey, we're trading him right now this early, with their season just coming to an end. But are you in the camp of it's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo going to South Beach?
Well, I want it to be Giannis coming to Miami. I don't know, Gelb. I don't know if right now the Miami Heat are in a position where they can outbid other teams who are going to enter. I hope it is, but this one reminds me a little bit of the Damian Lillard situation where like everybody's just
so you got enough
assuming one other, just assuming like, oh, well, it makes sense, Miami. And we know Giannis at the very least would like to come to Miami. I'm not saying it's at the top of his list, but at the very least, like he'd be open to coming to Miami. But I haven't seen anything in terms of reporting or in terms of either side that's led me to believe, yeah, this is happening. I want it. Don't get me wrong. I want it to happen, but I'm still in the waiting game here. Like I still, and I don't think it's going to be Boston. We talked about it earlier in the week. I think it's crazy for them to move on from Jaylen Brown just because he's a little upset after one loss in the playoffs. Like that core with Brown and Tatum has a lot more staying power and longevity than bringing in Giannis Antetokounmpo and pairing him up with Jason Tatum does, in my opinion. Like that window's shorter with Giannis and with Tatum. So I don't think they're going to do that. I think Milwaukee, though, at the end of the day, has leverage here because they can go out and get the best deal possible. And
I just don't know where that's going to be, though. Yeah, like if it's not going to Boston, if he's not going to Cleveland, the Warriors or the Lakers, I don't really know what they have to offer. Where else is he going? Because that's the other part. You could just say, hey, trade him. He also has to want to play there, and that factors into the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, does it though? Sure, they can. Yes, a team will be hesitant to trade for Giannis if he doesn't agree to sign an extension right away. I understand that, Gelb, but I still think there are teams who'd be willing to take the risk. A team like Atlanta, a team like Charlotte that has more draft capital than the Miami Heat and would be willing to say, hey, come play with us. Look at the core and get a feel for what it is we're building, and we'll bank on the fact that Giannis would want to sign here.
I just don't know how robust that would be if he doesn't give you the assurance he's going to re-sign with him having 1 year left in the contract before the year after that it's a player option.
It's a huge risk, but don't forget, Giannis would also be taking a risk playing while not signing a contract based on his injury history, based on the fact that he's getting older, if he has one more injury or a major injury,
He'll still get a fat contract.
He'll get a fat contract, but he's not getting the $200+ million extension that he's looking for.
Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. We'll take a break. We'll come on back. Zach Gelbin for Mark Hochman. When we do return, it's a loyalty oath time for Alejandro Solana. I'm fascinated. I have a question for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm building it up and it's not going to be that great, but I am very curious to see how you're going to hum and haw through the question that I'm about to ask you. We'll get to it in 5 minutes.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
Is there any possibility that Billy the Marlin is a bird?
All righty, welcome back in. Hour number 2, Hochman, Crowder, and Solana right here on 104.3 FM, WQAM. And Jimmy, I think it's 3:05, by the way.
It's 305.
Dale.
Plus, dale.
And it's
Dale.
3:05, sponsored by Miami Lake Chevrolet, where you walk in as a customer and drive out as family.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
That sound effect, by the way,
Yeah.
is that Jimmy with the noise?
Yeah, that's Jimmy. He's doing that with his mouth 100%.
It sounds like Jimmy. You don't think that sounds like Jimmy?
I don't know, Gelb. You may have to fix your ears or something.
Mine?
Yeah, that's
That's a phone
not a
vibrating,
human.
bro. That's a
That
phone.
doesn't sound like well, you may be a little bit more expert with vibrators than I am, but I did not think that was a phone vibrating whatsoever.
Man, Gelb won't not take advantage of just like the most low-hanging fruit joke that's sitting there.
Easy peasy.
He's got to do it every single time.
When you're 6'4", you're always punching down. All right, that's what I learned. It's like
I'm the same
whack-a-mole.
way.
You know, it's like whack-a-mole with all you guys.
We'll take a joke now. If you throw it up there, man, I can't not catch the ball off
Yeah,
the backboard. I got alley-oop.
What did Solana get so sensitive? Like that? I saw something that Solana posted this weekend, and I was talking with him today, and it was his Uruguayan food and all that. And I go, usually I love to just talk crap with you, but I go, I saw a food post of yours, and I had nothing negative to say, so I felt compelled to call him and tell him something positive, Crowder.
That's nice. You got to understand, because Solana's my man. We've been working together now for how long, Solana? Damn near 10 years, 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
He jokes until he doesn't want to joke anymore.
Then
He gets sensitive. So you can joke with him for an hour and a half, and he's with you, and then 1:31, he gets in his feelings, which is what it is.
Yeah, like I was nice when Jared Greenberg was going back and forth with him and basically said that he was a cheerleader. I was thinking of maybe interrupting and saying, hey, like when Pat Riley goes and gets a colonoscopy, the doctor sees Solana up there. But like I didn't elect to do that with Jared Greenberg on the phone because I didn't want Solana to be red.
All right.
No,
Now he's mad.
You know what? No, he'll get mad. He's mad. Let him stay mad. Gelby, how do you feel?
Appel coming in on Monday and Tuesday is what I hear.
Greenberg said something too about it when I asked him about like the attraction of Miami, where I've asked this of Solana, where like we think down here everybody wants to play for Spo, everybody wants to be with Pat Riley, under his thumb. Everybody wants that, but I don't think nationally people think of it like that. And I was seeing on the chat where a lot of people are like, "Bro, Giannis isn't coming here. Giannis doesn't want to come here."
I'll say this. When I was walking through Washington Square Park yesterday and there was a protest and I couldn't navigate through the park on my normal route home, I said, I would love to go to Miami. I would absolutely love to be in Miami. So what I would say to you is this. I think in terms of living, lifestyle, the weather, Miami is a top destination. If players actually, though, want to go win a championship, no, I don't think Miami, they're a respectable organization, but I don't think they're actually close to winning a championship.
That's fair, Gelb. I don't disagree with that. The state of the Miami Heat right now is not that of the Boston Celtics, is not that of, the teams that are still alive right now, or some of the premier NBA organizations right now. I would agree with that. But I think what Jared Greenberg was joking about was that the media down here has like this inflated idea of who the Miami Heat are. I do, because I see that a lot on NBA social media with writers and reporters, especially during free agency, when reporters down here and the fan base believes and is vocal, right, is loud about Miami being a premier destination. And to me, it boils down to a Gelb. I know you're going to disagree with this, but I know I'm right about it. It comes down to the fact that people in the Northeast, these large media markets, don't think that Miami as a city is a good sports town. So they don't think that the organizations down here deserve players like Giannis to come down here, or deserve the big three to come down here, because fans don't show up in their seats at time, and people would rather go to South Beach than they would go to watch the Heat play the Wizards on a random Tuesday night. And to me, it's just stupid. Like, Miami's a great sports town. Yeah, we're front runners, but so what? So is every great city.
Put it this way.
well.
If the team is good, I'm actually not going to disagree with you. Like, you just assume and you make an ass out of you and me. That's all good. But if the team's good, people are going to show up. Like right now, I have a 20-game plan for the Mets. I had to sell my tickets yesterday. Face value, they were $47 a ticket. I got $9 back a ticket. $9 back a ticket. So if the team sucks and it's only, we're at the end of May, people aren't going to show up. So for the Heat, when they're rocking, they're there. The Panthers, that the last few years, I know this year didn't work out, has been an unbelievable atmosphere. Like, you have Hochman, Crowder, and Solana, three guys that don't give two you-know-whats about hockey, doing the show there and actually thinking about staying for a game. Yeah, if that doesn't scream big-time sports fan to me, I don't know what does.
But the thing, to answer your question, Solana and Gelby, what you're saying, like you even brought it up. You were like, I had to go through a protest. And Greenberg was like, yeah, I'm in Atlanta. It rained 2 weeks in a row. These guys are multi-millionaires. They can buy a condo on South Beach and also play somewhere else and be successful on a successful team. Is the organization a destination for players still?
Most of them do, by the way. Most of them do.
Sure.
Have condos wherever. But you know, you hear LeBron talk about it all the time when he was playing with Cleveland. It's fine because, yeah, the summer's coming. But the reality is, Crowder, for 4 months out of the season, you've still got to get in your car when it's 16 degrees, drive to the facility, get out of the facility, walk back to your car at 16 degrees. You go home, you want to go out at 16 degrees. Like, a lot of players don't want to live in those conditions.
Yeah, but here's also the other thing. And I don't want to make Crowder cry here. Like, you players are liars. You all say you want to go win. You all say you want to win a championship. There's certain priorities. And when it comes to Miami, I get to go live there. I get to go party there. I get to go be there. Yeah, I could talk myself into with the history of the Heat being a team that's ready to win now, when in reality, they're not that close to winning a championship. Like, how many times you see a player say, I want to go to a team that wins a championship, and then he signs with the team and you go, that team doesn't really have a chance to win a championship.
But when it comes to the Heat specifically, because I don't want this to sound like I'm being a homer and I'm going to say, we're a Giannis away from winning a title. I don't think that's true. I think Giannis and Bam, and then you start building around that. But tell me which organization that's in the running for Giannis, right? That's in the running.
Yeah.
Because I think the Spurs, and you can make a case for the Spurs and the Nuggets and some of the top. But I'm talking about the teams that aren't playing right now that are going to be in the running for Giannis. Which one of them has the track record of acquiring top talent, a superstar of the caliber of Giannis, and building a quality contending team around them, not just once, multiple times? Because the only one in the NBA that has that resume that Giannis can look at and say, I want to replicate that. And that team's done it not once, not twice, 3 times. They did it with Shaquille O'Neal in 2005. They built the team around him. Pat Riley, he pulled out his swiper. He made big trade after big trade after losing in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and brought in Jason Williams, Antoine Walker, James Posey, Gary Payton, and they built the title around Shaq. Yes, Dwayne Wade had a lot to do with it, obviously. And then they did it with the big 3. They retooled. They got Ray Allen. They got Birdman. They got Shane Battier. And then they did it with Jimmy Butler as one. I know they didn't win a title, but they built a team around him also. So to me, like, that matters. There's a track record there.
All right, I have a loyalty oath question for you, Solana, and I'm fascinated by how you're going to answer this. It feels like it's Giannis or bust right now for the Miami Heat. I could tell you only get one. Giannis Antetokounmpo goes to the Miami Heat in a trade this offseason, or the Miami Hurricanes win a national championship in football this year. Which one would you rather have?
Gelby, that's the easiest thing you've ever asked me in my entire
Really?
life. Yeah.
Are you a Hurricanes hater?
Well, I'm a FIU grad.
Oh, come on. That's like me saying I'm a Temple grad, Villanova basketball, like what are we doing here?
We got a Gator on the show. Happy National Alligator Day today, by the way, Crowder.
Pause up, Papa.
We've got a hurricane on the show.
I
Mark
thought that was
Hochman.
a good question.
You want to know the
I'll
better
go back
question?
to the wiener talk.
And you know the answer. A national championship or getting a player and seeing what happens. Come on,
It's
Solana.
a national championship, easily.
You want to know the better question, Gelby? I'll give you the better question. The Knicks don't win a title, but the Miami Heat get Giannis Antetokounmpo, or don't get Giannis Antetokounmpo, or the Knicks win the title and Miami gets Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's not answer my question. So you would take Giannis to the Heat over the Canes for a championship this year?
100%.
That's silly. And I'm a
agree.
Gator.
Why is that silly?
A guaranteed national championship, have the best team in college football in your city, or you get a big dude that can get hurt in 17 seconds, and
not
we're
only
right
that,
back to where we were.
We're on the Canes station. Imagine having another national championship right here.
Yeah,
we're the city of champions, right? That's the imaging that they do.
We're on the Kane station. I hope the Hurricanes win a national championship. I was rooting for them when they got to the national championship last year, but they were a touchdown away from winning the Natty. I mean, that's pretty much as good as it gets. Let's be honest. We're on the Heat station also, Gelb. The Miami Heat.
But it's not a guarantee you win a championship.
Right, but the preeminent sports organization in this city for the past 25 years, who really has no direction right now and no outlet other than Giannis Antetokounmpo, immediately becomes a contender and one of the most noteworthy stories in sports with Giannis Antetokounmpo, the global superstar, previous champion, joining your organization to become the face and the next era of Pat Riley's build. You're telling me you'd rather have one title over that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be like that lady that was watching Jason Williams' daughter play softball and hit him with the fan. I'm going to hit you with the fan in a second.
He knows he's full of crap.
He does. That's why I asked it, because people are going to freak out. They're going to be like, here's this nitwit on Miami radio that is saying he'd rather have Giannis Antetokounmpo maybe be healthy, maybe compete for a championship over Darian Mensah and Mario Cristobal sticking it up everyone's keister.
Any sport, one player acquisition is never better than winning a championship. Come on now. This is ridiculous.
In my mind, the Hurricanes last year, they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame. They got that done. And Notre Dame, crybabies. Oh, we should have been in the playoffs.
How do
they
you
sat
deal with this guy every day?
They sat their ass at home. They sat their ass at home.
Every day, Gelby, I'm dealing with this.
Crowder, they went to College Station and they kicked Texas A&M's ass, and all the SEC got their asses shut down. Then they had the Ohio State rematch, and for me, who grew up diehard Canes fan, 2002.
I don't think anymore, buddy. You're excommunicated. In your argument, they were close. They basically won it.
My bits are starting to overlap.
I got him in a blender here. It's only day one. He's got 2 more days of this. He's screwed.
They got the Ohio State rematch. Gelby. And they beat Ohio State. Nobody thought they could do it. Nobody. And they did it. And to me, that was it. They were playing with house money after that. And then to go back to the Fiesta Bowl and beat Ole Miss, another SEC. Come on, Crowder, chant it with me. SEC.
Blue and yellow shield.
And kick their asses there as well. Bro, the Hurricanes had one of the greatest seasons in the past 20 years of any Miami sports team a season ago. And yeah, they were one pass completion short of winning a national title. But to me, that was great. That was memorable. I can live with that for the rest of my life. You're telling me that the Miami Heat, to end the Pat Riley era, Gelb, are going to go out sad? No. They need one more big move. And that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sign me up for the Greek Freak. I'll start eating gyros. I'll start eating Mediterranean salads. Sign me up.
All righty, let's quickly get to headlines because John Kuhn's going to join us on the other side as we'll talk about this Packer regime that is probably happy they're leaving legendary Lambeau Field to come down here and enjoy the nice weather in Miami.
If Joe Zagaki's listening to this radio station right now, he will never talk to me ever again.
Good. Ray Lewis is going to come over there and kill you.
I want to punch you in the face.
By the way, I really want the Canes to win a national title.
No, you don't. I just asked you the question.
All right, headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Just a reminder, the Orlando Magic, they've hired the San Antonio Spurs associate head coach Sean Sweeney as their new head coach. He's been in the NBA since 2011, according to Shams, and now he gets the Paolo Banchero or Banchero
there we go.
if you're Gelb. He gets the Paolo Banchero, Desmond Bain-led Orlando Magic job. And we didn't even bring up big news yesterday in the NBA world, but not good for your New York Knicks. Huh, Gelby? The fact
just
that
a pinky. He's going to play.
Mitchell Robinson has a broken right pinky finger. Not good for you guys.
Yeah, us men, we are not concerned about a broken pinky. You, very concerned about a broken pinky.
And you know what? They talked about this a lot on TV this morning, and I had time. Does he need a pinky? Because he just runs
can't
around
shoot
crazy
anyway.
and slaps people. Like,
set screens, grab rebounds, and get up and down the court, and then get to the bench and suck down some Gatorade.
He had surgery today.
It's
like the
fine.
idea,
Mitchell Robinson. You're acting like it's Jalen Brunson.
You know what? I know you forget what it's like to be in the NBA Finals. You suck it up, Buttercup. All right?
bro, his entire game is catching lobs and blocking the interior of the paint. You kind of need your hand for that. This dude had surgery, Crowder. Surgery today.
Pinky. You don't even need your pinky. You can cut your pinky off. I cut my pinky off Saturday night, played Sunday, 14 tackles.
He marinated it in Crowder powder, too, and then ate it. It was very delicious.
Marlins play the Mets tonight, 7:10 p.m. Max Myers starts for the Fish. Listen to Jack McMullen on the call right here at 7:10.
This is the crazy thing to me. They really need his 5 points a game, Solana. Like, bro, it's Mitchell Robinson.
He's a good player, though.
You're going to do this again by just looking up his numbers and suggesting that his
numbers don't mean anything. His 5 points.
He's a good player, though. He's important.
His 5 points just totally minimize his impact because he only scores 5 points a game. He's not a scorer, Crowder. He's out there to do other things. You can't just look up his box score.
What does he do? What does he do?
He blocks
rebounds,
shots,
defense, energy.
Rebounds, 8 a game.
That's pretty good.
Jimmy can get 8 a game.
No, he can't.
I got 8. When I was in high school, the day after my pinky got cut off, I got 8 rebounds.
If there was 5 Jimmys stacked up on one another, maybe he could get 8 rebounds. By the way, Jimmy's currently constructed, no chance. Cigar lovers, we got a chance for you to win sold out VIP tickets at Drew Estates, Florida Barn Smoker this November. Throughout the day, you'll enjoy premium VIP cigars, curated food and beverage experiences, food, trucks, drinks, and more. To enter, text the word Barn Smoker to 20357. That's Barn Smoker to 20357. Must be 21 plus to enter and attend. Valid ID required at event registration. We'll get a little intel on Malik Willis, John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley when John Kuhn, Packers legend, is going to join us on the other side. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
My prostate's the size of a bagel.
Hochman, Crowder, Solana, Zach Gelb in for Mark Hochman. It's 80 degrees right now in Green Bay, but Solana, tell us about what the weather is like in Miami.
It's 90 degrees right now in Miami. It's hot. It's humid. I know there's parts of South Florida dealing with some rain as well. That weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe when the storms roll in. Visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate.
You got John Eric Sullivan now in Miami. You also got Jeff Hafley now in Miami, and also Malik Willis being the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. John Kuhn has obviously played for the Packers and has been with their radio broadcast for a long time. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. John Kuhn, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, guys. And yeah, beautiful 80 degrees up here, 90 and humidity. Ooh, that's hot.
Hey, John, I need a Zelle because I think you hit me one time and dislocated my shoulder a little bit, brother.
Well, daggone, we don't have to start the interview like that. My apologies for that collision. But it's good to be on here talking with you guys, and I'm always glad to hear from you, Channing.
See, you know what's funny about that? John, Channing tried to tell me before you came on in the open of the show that he was this elite athlete. He was this great player. All these teams on offense, they would fear him. Clearly not the case with you because you abused the crap out of him.
No, we don't need to. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Channing was a great player. Hey, anytime you get your vet card, anytime you get into those benefits after your playing days, that says something. And Channing was there, man. We had some great battles over the year, but not dissimilar to any fullback linebacker relationship. It got a little rocky.
Hey, we are very concerned with the fullbacks, and John was a concerning fullback. I won't lie to you, Gelby. That man could run through there. But Gelb, I'm trying to tell them. They're like, "Oh, you weren't that good." I'm like, "But I was one of the best 32 at my position in the world," and they try to minimize it. You were one of the best 32 fullbacks in the entire world. You were elite.
Yeah, and think about this now, guys. If you're one of the fullbacks in the NFL, you're one of the best 12 in the world because that's about all the teams that carry a fullback anymore.
John Kuhn here with us. All right. We don't have to be all nice to Crowder and have sympathy for him. We know you kicked his ass for all those years. Let's get to the year of 2026 of the Miami Dolphins. You know Malik Willis well. We don't really know what the Dolphins are getting out of their quarterback. What do you think Miami is getting out of Malik Willis?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. This is Malik Willis's Sam Darnold opportunity. And what I mean by that is it did not pan out for him in Tennessee. And the Packers basically got him for peanuts at the end of training camp 2 years ago. The Titans didn't want him. They were moving in a different direction. They had drafted Will Levis. And Malik was a blessing in disguise that Brian Gutekunst was able to find and Matt LaFleur was able to get to flourish. And if you remember, Sam Darnold spent a little bit of time with the 49ers after being dumped by a few teams and then made his way to KOC, where he had an opportunity in Minnesota to throw to some weapons with a creative offensive coordinator, and it worked for him. I feel like Malik Willis is at that point in time in his career. He has seen the way things don't work down in Tennessee, and he has seen the way things can work like it did here in Green Bay while he was the starting quarterback for the Packers. He did flourishing job coming in for Jordan Love when Jordan went down and starting in several games in his place while Jordan was out. And Malik Willis was never the reason the Packers were unsuccessful. So I think he only had one loss as a starter. I believe he was 3-1 total here in Green Bay. And he did great work in spot duty as well in games when game plans were scheduled for Jordan Love and he had to go in emergency. So I think you're getting a guy down there in Miami who has a unique set of skills at the quarterback position. Now, how does the offensive coordinator, how does that offensive staff use those skills to his benefit and exploit that?
And John, speaking of, like, Malik was one guy and the other two guys were Hafley and Sully. And I'm selling right now because, you know, they're $150 million dead money. Like, they don't have the best roster. but the philosophy. I'm selling people on the philosophy that this isn't going to be. We just left a McDaniels offense that he sold a track meet. We're going to get a bunch of small guys. We're going to run around real fast, throw the ball 40 times a game. This is going to be different, isn't it? Like Hafley and Matt LaFleur, I love him to death. I know Matt. Like they don't look at it that way. They play old school style of football, and I anticipate that now Hafley's going to come in with the same approach.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal. The Dolphins right now, you're absolutely right. They purged that roster quite a bit, and we like to keep tabs on them down there. We kind of call it Green Bay South in Miami. But Bobby Sloak's he's got a job out for himself right now in trying to figure out how he can create that offense. As I look on it, keeping Devin Achane was the best thing they could do for Malik Willis. The left side of that offensive line is absolutely enormous. I see a lot of run game, a lot of read option, a lot of RPO principles coming your way down there in Miami to use what Malik Willis does his best. If you check out some of his tape here in Green Bay, it was his legs that led the Packers to victories when he was a starter. But don't sleep on his arm, because his arm is still strong enough to get the job done. But I don't think it's what you want to lean on when you talk about Malik Willis, the starting quarterback.
Is he capable, in your opinion, of growing into, more of a, I don't want to say a pocket passer, because I'm with you. I don't think that's necessarily his game. But I think the big concern, because you say the Dolphins purged the roster, is that we won't be able to, when I say we, Hafley, Sullivan, and the entire organization, won't be able to properly evaluate Malik Willis in year one because of the lack of weapons around him. And I just wonder if, in your mind, you think he's capable of elevating maybe guys that weren't as good as Green Bay had on their roster in year one.
Yeah, when you look at the talent, especially at the skill position around him, minus Devin Achane, it's not what he had in Green Bay, and that's okay, right? This is a rebuild happening in Miami right now, and they're all going to grow together. I would be weary trying to make him a pocket passer, although he does have the presence to be able to do it. 2 years ago, down in Jacksonville, he came in mid-game for Jordan Love with a groin injury, and he was able to lead the Packers back in the fourth quarter with an amazing pass down the field off of play action to Jaden Reed. It was probably a 50, 55-yard pass, dropped it in the bucket. So he's got the arm talent. He's got the arm strength. When I simply mean you don't want to lean on that, he is most dynamic. The offense stays on schedule the best with the threat of the run. And you don't have to run him a lot, but his ability to be able to run, especially when the play breaks down on a pass play, is what really makes him exceptional. That's where the high end is going to be with Malik Willis. To me, guys, the struggles with Malik Willis will just be trying to get the rapport with the offensive coordinator, trying to get the rapport with his teammates. If there is a speed bump, if there is a hindrance, it's going to be that. It's going to be everybody getting on the same page in a new system and working out the timing of everything.
John Kuhn, while we have you here, I wanted Aaron Rodgers to retire this offseason. I think going back to Pittsburgh for the organization is kind of pointless, but it is a little nostalgic, I'm sure, for you, with Mike McCarthy now being the head football coach there and Aaron getting to play for Mike once again. What do you think we're going to see out of that relationship as they're getting the band back together?
Well, Zach, the best part about this is Aaron Rodgers has already said year 22 will be the last year of Aaron Rodgers in the NFL. So you won't have to get me on the predictions market with Kalshi and everybody else next year going into the season. Will Aaron be back or not? So that's the best thing for you to hear. But I love this for Aaron. There's a little bit of unfinished business there. When he went to New York, there was a sentiment that he had lost it. There's even a sentiment that even though the Steelers won the division last year and made it to the playoffs, that it wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers or he played a very minimal part in that. Here's an opportunity where he can go back to his roots and he can go back to that coach that let him really do everything that he wanted to do at the line of scrimmage with some terminology and some basic nomenclature that will allow him to tell the line where to slide, to protect himself, to put backs in positions that he had done for 16 years, 17 years at Green Bay. I love this opportunity for him. I love the opportunity for Coach Mike because We really don't know if any of the quarterbacks on that roster, aside from Aaron Rodgers, can be capable of winning 6, 7, 8, 10 games. And some might say maybe they should restart and regroup for next year, accept some losses this year, go into next year's draft that's quarterback heavy and get the future. That's not the way the Rooneys do things. They are always in it to compete every single season, and they're going to give it their best foot forward every single year. So I think everybody in Pittsburgh has motivation behind them to be able to go out there this year and see what they can do now that they put the whole band back together.
Last thing for me, John Kuhn, we were talking earlier about how one urinates in the ocean, and it led to a story about Channing Crowder basically just being an untrained dog when he was playing and just urinating all over the field. Would you pee in your pants when you played?
I wasn't leaving the sideline, John. I missed the series my rookie year, and I said after that, I'm never going to the bathroom again. I am just going to pee down my leg and wipe it off with a towel.
Hey, Zach, this is the funny thing is that's not that uncommon. I've known many players to do that. I myself, listen, I wash my hands when I leave the bathroom. I'm not doing that. That's not something that I'm going to do, but I've known many players to take that opportunity, and especially defensive players, because they, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Channing, if you got that going on, nobody wants to touch you. Nobody wants to block you. Nobody wants to put their hands on you. So it's a little bit of a competitive advantage.
Belichick once gave Larry Izzo a game ball because he took a number 2 on the sidelines and no one realized it and he didn't get caught. How about going number 2? Do you guys go number 2 on the sidelines?
Well, I've never really had a bathroom malfunction or a problem where I've had to do that. I was pretty regular, guys. I'm not going to lie. I had my system down pat. If I made sure I did everything before pregame, then I was good to go. If there was a complication or something that came up, I made sure after warm-ups that we finished the business and we were ready to play a football game.
So you just hit the living piss out of Crowder. You didn't actually just go in your pants.
Hey, man, listen, not even because he's on the phone. That man was super strong. I said, what did you eat as a kid, John? What did you eat for lunch as a child? Because I was like, goodness gracious.
Hey, I was kind of lucky growing up in central Pennsylvania. Dan Kreider, Kyle Brady, there was just something in that water. Maybe it was 3 Mile Island on the Susquehanna River. There was something there about that just built big shouldered 6'1" to 6'3" tight ends and fullbacks.
John, go ahead. Jen,
I got to ask him, do you look at the game now? Because I do this now. Because like he's saying, a 6'1", 6'3" fullback, we joke all the time. There's a drop on this show about these little bitty, graceful fullbacks that run out routes all the time. Do you watch the game now, John, like back when we played, and you're like, it's 3rd and 1. Run a lead right through the A-gap. Like, why are we doing all this motion? Like, run straight downhill and bust somebody in the face.
Hey, I could not agree more. The evolution of the game has been fascinating to watch. I will say a back end of my career was during that evolution. And I loved the fact that the linebackers, they wanted these linebackers that could run the seam with the tight end. So all the inside guys started getting to like 230 to 235. And I just kept licking my chops saying, well, this sets me up really well in a 2-back, 3-wide receiver set to be able to run lead draw or ISO or something to that nature. So there's always ebbs and flows. And I keep saying, I've been doing it for about 10 years. The fullback position will eventually make a comeback. I hope I'm right. Guys.
Yeah. Well, no, what was it? Ricard and Juszczyk. Them boys are banging too now still. But I think it's a evolution of the position too.
They're banging, but Juszczyk is obviously, he's a multi-versatile type fullback. So is Alec Ingold. You guys got a great look at what he was able to do down there. So there are some good, versatile fullbacks in the NFL. And then there's just some big old meatheads like Ricard that can go out there and push trucks around, and they still do the job as well. But you need the right head coach. You need the right offensive coordinator. You need the right system to be able to do it.
Let's be real. If Alec Ingold was still in the Dolphins, he could be their second best skill position player, actually, when we look at things these days. He may actually be.
I'm not lying.
Hey guys, I'm sure you don't know this. Did you? Alec Ingold's from Green Bay. I watched him when I was playing here. He was a high school quarterback. He could sling the rock now. It wasn't until he went to Madison that they moved him over to the fullback position. He was a heck of a high school quarterback.
And he's an author too. I don't know if he has a book out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hearing John's voice, my AC joint just started throbbing.
Mine too, Channing. Mine too. Just the thought of it.
John, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend. All right.
Always fun, guys. Thank you so much.
There you go, John Kuhn joining us right there. He really had some sympathy for you.
He should have. I mean, I gotta go. I gotta go see.
Guy.
Yeah,
he basically
nice
just
dude.
like pat you on the head and said, "Nice job, little fella. How you been?"
Well, we actually, the year they won the Super Bowl, we beat them in Green Bay.
So, do you take credit for the Super Bowl victory? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I had.
You have a ring now?
We looked this up, Solana. I had like 8 tackles. I had a pretty
Crowder-
good game that game.
Crowder had a really good game that game. He did, yeah.
All righty.
Listen,
It's Hochman.
that man was banging though. When they took him out, I said, "Oh, thank God! Now I can go hit somebody else."
It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Mark Hochman. Crowder, what do you got to tell everybody? Go ahead.
I got to let people know if their garage doors are outdated, damaged, or not hurricane ready, you can't wait. You got to call Allied Doors. Serving South Florida since 1966. 60 years of trusted family-owned service. You can't beat that. You're not in business for 60 years if you're not the best. Don't be the house. And if I'm calling you out, I'm calling you out. But you know your neighbors that have a beautiful home, well-kept yard, and the garage doors are garbage. Let's not do that. Call Allied Doors. Huge in-stock inventory, same-day service, custom impact-rated doors that are built to protect and upgrade your home fast. And the LiftMaster openers, it's so funny. I thought when I was a kid, every garage door took 2 minutes to raise up, and it was loud and made all that noise. Man, LiftMaster openers, they are the best and built to perform. Our personal house I'm in right now, my wife's investment properties, we use Allied Doors, and I'm telling you, you can upgrade and protect your homes fast. And hurricane season's coming. What is it, about 2 days, 3 days? Listen, protect your house. You got to call 954-942-8550. That's 954-942-8550 and visit allied-doors.com. Mention this ad, you get $300 off. $300 off to protect and upgrade your home fast. How can you beat that? Don't wait. You got to call Allied Doors today.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Hey, Claude, let's jump Hawk.
PM and we back on the clock, so don't get cutesy. Dog lead the station unlocked. We got the sports talk and the drama to make sure the T-clock. WQAM is the Avengers with no weak spot. For Joe Rose, Woody Bo, Omar and more, Tobin and Leroy giving gooses galore. Yeah, for 2 to 6 is reserved for 3 legends. The captains of America, not no Chris Evans. From Spritz to McRibs and calling out game scores. Hochman, Crowder, Solana. Get ready for some more.
All righty, welcome back in. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Hawk. And Solana, I understand you have a stock market report for us on this Friday.
I sure do, Gelby.
Ding, 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 ding,
Sure
ding.
By the way, before I even get to that, Gelby, Jimmy had just sent us something, and this has kind of been like a running known thing about me that I hate Novak Djokovic. Like, just absolutely despise Novak Djokovic.
The Joker, the tennis player?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, Gil.
And he lost today in having a 2-0 set lead to a 19-year-old. Just absolutely awesome. Just such a great day for me today. Just wanted to throw that out there to start the 4 o'clock hour.
Would you rather have Novak Djokovic lose every match he ever plays it again? or Giannis go to the Heat?
Giannis, go to the Heat. The stock market report is sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.7% or 350 points. And the S&P and the NASDAQ each added around 0.2% today. So a good day on Wall Street. That's brought to you by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
I got to ask you something, Crowder, and this gets a little serious, and I understand that this is a fun show. I saw Ryan Clark on the pivot, and I actually saw you. You were like half the clip. You were just nodding your head, and you weren't saying anything.
Yeah. I'm the eye candy.
Yeah. They kept on putting the camera on you. Oh, it's my guy Channing. Yeah. But he was talking about the Abdul Carter Jackson Dart situation. Yeah. Solana and I were talking about it on Monday, and I just saw they had Abdul Carter speak. They had Jackson Dart speak. I watched the 5-minute, speech from Jackson Dart, and he was like, "Hey, like my family has served in the military. It wasn't a political statement from me. I was just going to introduce the president. I respect the office. This is a locker room. I respect everybody's opinion. I love my teammates, blah, blah, blah." And then Abdul Carter's like, "No, I want him to stand on business. I don't want him to apologize." Here's what I'm just wondering. Because, I see it on the internet, and I'm like, okay, I understand it's Trump. It's going to be polarizing, Democrat, Republican. In the locker room, I know Abdul Carter tweeted what he said. Do guys really care about this stuff if some guy introduces the president of the United States?
You know what, Gil? And we kind of touched on it when it first happened, but it's locker rooms are what they call microcosms of the world.
Yeah.
There's 53 guys in there. There's different sides of everything. There's guys that like Neapolitan ice cream, guys that don't like it. There's Republicans, there's Democrats. And I bring up who is a very strong Republican was Jay Feely. And when Obama got elected, I had a gigantic Obama sticker across the back of my Dodge Ram. And me and Jay Feely want to talk about it. And we talked about it as men. Like, I don't agree with. He was like, well, he's doing this. I was like, well, I don't agree with this side either. And we can discuss it rationally as grown-ups. And that's what, like, I saw Abdul Carter and stuff you just sent. I haven't seen Jackson Dart. I'll watch it during the break. But hopefully they're speaking about it as men where it's not becoming so, to your question, Gelb, so volatile and nasty that politics have became. Like, there's the elephant in the donkey. There's two sides. Like, talk about it like men, and we can agree to disagree.
So if you were Abdul Carter and let's say you didn't like what your quarterback did, you'd probably just talk to him in person instead of just slamming him on social media.
Yeah. See, this is the difference between Solana age people and, grown men with mortgages. But Solana has a mortgage now. I just give him a hard time. But me and Jay were on total opposite sides. And Jay said something, and I was like, bro, let's go talk. We sat down and had lunch and talked about it. And I was like, I don't think that makes sense. Even though my taxes will be lower if this person's elected, I think about their, morality more than this and that. And he was like, oh, it's not all about money. And we really had a conversation. And I respect Jay. If I talk to Jay to this day, me and Jay Feely are cool. We are on total opposite sides of politics. But that's where I think the world should go. That's why I said the microcosm of society, where it doesn't have to get nasty. Abdul Carter, I don't want you to apologize for having your ideologies. I don't want you to apologize to me. That's how you were raised or whatever, however you feel about it. Don't apologize. We can talk as human beings and say, okay, nah, bro, I ain't with you on that one, but let's go win 13 football games and see if we can win a Super Bowl in the playoffs. Like, I think Abdul Carter, the clip that y'all sent, he said it. He was kind of like, we have the same, we're looking to the same goal. We have the same goal athletically. We don't have to have the same thoughts off the field. And that's why, like I said, that has to be vile to it. It just has to be, hey, man, okay, you're there. I'm there. Cool, bro. Hey, man, go throw 27 touchdowns. I'm going to go get 11 sacks, and we'll have a great chance of doing good this season, period.
And it's nice to hear that you had that conversation when you were playing with Jay, just because now the world, to your point, it's either you're all in or you're all out. And if, like, I'm someone that's like down the middle, I'm registered as an independent, and I listen to both sides, and I make my decision what I think is best for the country. It's just, you can't listen or have a rational conversation. It's either you're with this person or you're not with this person. You're the greatest thing or you're the worst thing in the world. It is one weird time we're living in, I'll tell you that.
And that's the thing. Knowing Jay's political thoughts, I never watched him line up to kick a 28-yard field goal and wanted him to miss it. And I'll speak for Jay on this. Jay never saw me sit on 2nd and 10 and want me not to make the tackle on the zone play. Like, this is separate from that. I respect you. I respect your decision. I respect your thoughts. I respect your, like I said, your ideology. I respect everything that you do. I might not agree with them, but now we're all going towards the goal of having more points in the other team when the clock hits 000 in the fourth quarter. And I think that's where locker rooms, and I don't know now, I've been in a locker room in 15 years now, but I think that's where now I'm seeing it. I think that's where locker rooms were so different. We could fight, we could argue, but now we're going to go do our jobs to the best of our ability. And no matter what you think, who you voted for, if you have to spill the lead, I'm going to come over top and make the tackle. If I need to bump the tight end so you have a better chance in cover 4, I don't give a damn who you voted for. I'm going to do my job. You do your job. And I think that's kind of what Abdul Carter is saying. And I'll listen to the Jackson Dart stuff, but it almost seems like what I read that he's saying the same thing. Like, what does this have to do with football?
And the other thing that I'll add to it, because I know you kind of poke fun at Solana, where you're like, oh, people his age will just go run on social media. And Solana and I are the same age. When I was younger, that was me. Like, if my plane got delayed, I run to social media, I bitch about it. Or if this, like, I'll try to bully on social media and try to get it. Now I kind of realize, if I want to say something, I don't need to put everything out there on social media, because you're just not going to win. Like, in the beginning of the month, I went to Bruce Springsteen. I've been going to Bruce Springsteen with my dad for 20 years. Right, my dad's been to 100 Bruce Springsteen show. The show now is political with what he is doing. There are political aspects to it. I'm getting called the worst names in the book, like, Democrat, all that stuff, like that. People are going at you. Then at the end of the month, I kind of went after Dan Lebitard for what he had to say about Jackson Dart. And then it's like, oh, you're MAGA. It's like, you can't win when you get political online. And I really have no affiliation.
Gilby, the funny thing is that, so now knowing that you're a Solanian age, I had to stop Solanian. What are y'all called? Gen 7s, Gen 8s, Gen 9s, Gen Z. What are y'all?
Yeah, Gen 7. Gen 7.
Gen 7?
Yeah.
Same as your IQ, not tough to forget it, all right?
Gilby, I had, like, people checked me, a number of very smart people, my attorneys and different people, because Gen old, I don't know what Gen I am, I would always tell people, meet me at Walmart if you want to talk crazy to me. Let's talk about this face to face. And they're like, Chan, you can't keep telling people to meet you somewhere to talk about this. And I'm like, no. I'm not telling them we need to fight. I'm telling them, if you're going to call me names, I want to look you in your eyes while you call me a name. So I think my generation, we were built different, where I want to look at you.
Yeah.
But now people can get on there and have what they call them, Twitter fingers, and just talk nasty to everybody and put their
subtweet.
Subtweet and put their opinion out there with a dog emoji in front of it, so we don't know who you are. Where I think it's working its way down, but I think these new athletes, they're in a generation where it's all social media, but now they have to deal with real grown people problems and real grown people, situations that they can't go at 2 a.m. and talk about politics. Like, you need to sit your ass down and go enjoy your wife or your girlfriend.
Well, no, I don't think they need to, but they do put themselves oftentimes in those positions. Crowder, my take to Gelb when this first happened, and we talked about it on Monday, was I don't think Abdul Carter understood the magnitude of that tweet. I thought, like, I'm sure he understands the importance of politics and like the role it plays and how angry people get on either side. Like, I think everybody has that general understanding, but there's a massive difference when you're essentially a high profile athlete playing in the state or for the New York Giants, and you're calling out the president. Again, I'm not saying on either side. Like, that's not my point.
Oh, no.
But just making that statement publicly, I don't think he understood the scope of that and the magnitude of that. And I think if he did, he probably wouldn't have made those comments publicly. But he just didn't. Like, to him, it was like taking a shot at anything that he might take a shot at. Oh, SGA keeps flopping. What a bum. And that's how he thought it would play out in his mind. Just a couple thousand people would be mad at him, no big deal. Like everything he says, not 54 million views on that tweet in 12 hours type of magnitude.
And I will tell you, to that point, though, quickly, Gabe, I'll tell you, with my Obama sticker on the back of my truck, it wasn't just Jay Feely that said something. There were Dolphin representatives that was like, hey, Chan, like, this is more than just a bumper sticker. This is more than, baby on board. When you have this on the back of your truck, it's gonna cause people upset because, like I was saying, the divisiveness of politics now. I didn't understand, and I'm extremely intelligent. I don't know how intelligent Abdul Carter is, but they can put a bumper sticker on the back of their car in a second, and now 54 million people see it.
The other thing is, it's funny what ends up blowing up. Like, obviously, Dart introduces the president. Abdul Carter responds. 53 million views later. John Harbaugh has been in the White House with his brother Jim Harbaugh, meeting with the president. And when John Harbaugh gets hired by the New York Giants, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's going to save the Giants franchise. All the players are happy. It's just funny to me. Yeah. And I know that the Dart thing was a little bit more direct, but it's in the same kind of realm. What gets thrown into the explosive rate of just going wild and viral, and then what doesn't?
Well, that's because it fits the culture war stuff. So, the extremes on either side just jump all over this type of story. But Gelb, I see today a video of Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter after speaking, hugging it out in front of the reporters. Like, this story is going nowhere. Honestly, like, they're sweeping it under the rug. They're playing nice. This story's going nowhere. The second there's turmoil, week 1, week 16,
it will come back up.
It's going to be a topic of conversation, 100%.
Well, here's the thing that I think is the interesting part to watch. Like, I've learned, and I'm not comparing myself to Dart or Abdul Carter, but I've learned how to just ignore people on social media that just say ridiculous things. You have people now in Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart who grew up with a phone in their hand and are on social media. And with how divisive this is on both sides, they could tweet, hey, just had like cake for dessert in the city. It was unbelievable. You're going to get 50 people that are going to say you love this country or hate your country. And you got to learn how to just tune that out, because if you don't, that's when it could really crumble a young man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I kind of want to take it back. Like I said, I don't know how smart Abdul Carter is. He's a Penn State graduate. Like,
can't be that smart if he went to Penn State. You know?
But I don't know if these kids, to your point, Gail, these kids that grew up with their phone, if they're equipped to get into a political real conversation. It's just you pick a side and you have to be on it. And I think that's where it is. And like them hugging it out is great to see. But I've had political conversations with people. 15 seconds in, I'm like, this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm not arguing with this idiot. And face to face, fellas, I'll be like, oh no, you got it, brother. You're right. No, you're right. No. I'm not sitting around arguing with you because this is not an intelligent grown man conversation to have.
That's why we'll just stick to the headlines. Solana, what do we got?
They're brought to you by our good friends at Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Just a couple local notes. Los Madalens do play today, tomorrow, and Sunday versus Zach Gelb's New York Mets.
We
7:10 p.m. Max Myers on the bump tonight. Yeah, remember last time what happened when the Marlins played the Mets, Gelb? The Mets got swept.
Hey, if anyone wants to go to the game Saturday, I got 2 tickets. They're probably not going to sell. Get in contact with me.
$9.
I'll give them to you. I'll pay you to go. Jeez, I'm getting that's the worst $1,200. I just urinated that right down the drain. I listed them for $48 for the tickets this weekend per seat. I listed them at $18. I don't even think I'm going to get close to that.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't pay $18.
Watch the Mets?
Well, that's because you're a leech. You just like to get everything for free.
Yeah.
You just see his seats.
Nothing wrong with that.
Way up top.
Crowder has this thing where he keeps saying my Heat season tickets, which by the way I haven't used in 5 years because I worked the broadcast, but my Heat season tickets are nosebleed.
Behind the beer stand.
Trust me, the one time Crowder actually texted me when he was in New York was when he saw I was sitting behind the Knicks bench, and he's like, hey, Gelby, how'd you get those seats? I'm like, no. You don't get to come to the city 10 times and not text me and now text me just to try to use me.
Damn, Gail, watch out for a player, Gelby.
That's a heady play there, Crowder. I like that, man. I really do. We're going to have a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. What did you guys think of the game yesterday? I know what the final score makes the game look like. I realize that. But, man, I was super bummed with how Oklahoma City just unraveled in the third quarter. There was a 13-0 run at one point. It was an 8-point game midway through the third quarter. There's a 13-0 run with Wemby on the bench. Like, it was just embarrassing. With SGA on the court, by the way. It's just embarrassing by the Oklahoma City Thunder. I thought they were proven enough and battle-tested enough to go win that game. I was very wrong. I mean, the Spurs kicked their ass.
Well, the fascinating part to me is Wemby bounced back, and it was more than just Wemby, like what you said. But this whole series, everyone's like, OKC's going to win. OKC's going to win. Now we get to see actually if OKC's going to win because you've reached the last stand here. You don't win this one, you go home, and then the Spurs and the Knicks will do battle to start things off in the NBA Finals in San Antonio.
I had just written down, Solana. Why is Jay Will in the game? He doesn't do anything. He's hurt. They're forcing him to play, and that's a waste of 10, 12 minutes, whatever he played. And on the other side, I don't think OKC's being offensively aggressive enough. They're trying so hard to stomp Whippy that they're putting Harkenstein out there that missed 2 dunks. Like, they're going so defensive. Sooner or later, you got to score some points, fellas, and that's what you blitz SGA, and who else is going to beat you? Alex Caruso, good job. Good luck.
You're rooting for the Spurs, right? Like I don't have a dog in the fight, OKC or the Spurs. I don't care who wins. I would, though, rather see, if you made me pick, Wemby get to the finals because I just think that would be awesome for the league.
What does it say? You have to, what? Full disclosure, I have money on OKC winning it all, Gelb. So.
Oh, do you? How much?
a nice bit, 4 figures.
Okay.
So
I made a mistake talking about social media. A friend of mine, it wasn't my money, and he has a lot of money. He made a bet for the Knicks to sweep the Cavs, and the odds were like plus 600. and I don't know, he threw like $1,200 down on it and he won like 8 or 9 grand. The amount of betting experts on social media that are tweeting me after this guy won the bet, oh, those odds should have been higher. Plus 600 got a bad number. Would have been better spreading it out over 4 games in the series. I'm like, all right, like, it's not me betting. It was him betting. He won, and now we're going to get all critical. There's going to be a hair up everybody's ass on social media.
Yeah. John 6457 tweeting from his mom's basement. I don't never respond to that guy.
There was some Miami Marlins news earlier today as well. We didn't have too much time to kind of dive into it, but the Marlins owner Bruce Sherman sold 15% of the Miami Marlins organization to 2 unidentified families that have residences in South Florida. I'm just reading Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald.
I was, by the way, surprised. I heard you guys talking about this yesterday when the Major League Baseball kind of sent that proposal out there with the floor and the ceiling for the salary. I was surprised how high the floor was. I can't see that being very popular with owners. Yes, they're going to save money in how much terms you're going to spend, but there's a lot of teams on that list that they're going to have to up the ante in the way that they're operating, like the Marlins.
But Gelby, I don't think the number was just pulled out of the sky. I think they know that these people can pay that, and they're telling some teams you're not going to sit around and have an $80 million payroll and be terrible because you're cheap. We know you have the money. Go pay these people so we can have good games, get better TV deals, get more streaming deals. Like, this is business, bro.
I also think yesterday was a win for the owners because I operated under the belief that there was going to be a lockout, there was going to be a strike, and maybe there still is going to be. But with how high that number was, I do think yesterday was an encouraging first step.
I like the floor. I don't like the ceiling because we were talking about it yesterday. The Yankees and the Dodgers.
Of course, you're a former player. Pay us more, but don't cap out how much more we get.
Gilby, if you want to give me 80 mil, give me 80 mil. What are we talking about?
No wonder why you got your son getting ready to play baseball instead of football. That's so obvious. Channing Cash.
Hey, man. Money doesn't make you happy, but it buys a lot of stuff.
All right, guys. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 90 degrees, still 90. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid-70s. That weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
Cigar lovers, we got a chance for you to win sold-out VIP tickets to Drew Estates, Florida's Barn Smoker. This November, throughout the day, you'll enjoy premium and VIP cigars, curated food and beverage experiences, food trucks, drinks, and more. To enter, text the word Barn Smoker to 20357. That's Barn Smoker to 20357. Must be 21 plus to enter and attend. Valid ID required at event registration. We'll take a break. We'll come on back. We'll do a little Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. I think you guys, knowing my history with Tua, will actually be surprised what I'm going to say. We'll get to it on the other side. It's Hawk, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelb in for Mark Hochman.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
You ever just sit in your house naked?
Alrighty, welcome back in. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk. Solana, I don't know. This could be some bad news that we maybe didn't cover when the Magic ended up hiring their coach, Sean Sweeney, today. Or that came out that they're going to be the team that gets Sean Sweeney, who's with the Spurs. According to Ramona Shelbourne, the Orlando Magic are a team to watch for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, you may say, okay, like, what's the big deal about that? That just comes out of nowhere. What does it have to do with their coach? Well, according to Kevin O'Connor, the Ramona Shelbourne comment is especially interesting now that Sean Sweeney will be Orlando's head coach. Sweeney was a Bucks assistant during Giannis's early years, and they developed a very close relationship. So I don't know what the Magic could give up. I don't think they're giving up Paolo Banchero. I'm just going to go on out there and say they're not getting rid of him, your favorite player. But that is something I think we got to monitor in terms of if it's not Boston and Miami, a lot of people think is going to be the team, then who else could be in the mix? And maybe it is the Magic now.
Yeah, I saw this as well after Shelbourne had reported it, and then I saw a bunch of people talking about it. Here's the thing. The Orlando Magic gave up a lot of draft capital to go get Desmond Bane. So that makes things very difficult for them in terms of draft capital. And let's not forget the fact that with the new 3-2-1 lottery system, that may kind of
diminish the capital.
Right. It may alter the way a team will look at the Orlando Magic's draft capital down the line. Like, oh, well, if you guys don't work out and you want to rebuild, or if your team just stinks in 5-6 years, your picks may not convey the way that we hope they're going to convey because of these new rules. So, I mean, Desmond Bane, Wendell Carter Jr., Paolo Banchero, and then the Wagner twins, Jalen Suggs, like, they have some quality players, but do they have, outside of Banchero and Desmond Bane, who they're not going to trade, do they have anybody that's like wildly impressive in terms of a trade? I don't know. I don't think so.
Would you be more inclined, if you're Giannis, to go team up with Paolo Banchero or Bam Adebayo? I think it's got to be Paolo.
Why?
Well, let's expand it. The Orlando Magic roster or the Heat roster.
Right, but the rosters would look wildly different.
Yeah, I got to know who the Magic are giving up. Right now, I do think the Magic are in better position right now than the Miami Heat. It doesn't mean that the Magic are going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think they're in better shape right now than the Heat are.
Look, the Magic kicked the Heat's ass 5 times this past year, so I'm not going to sit here and say the Heat are better than the Orlando Magic because there's no way for me to say it, but I think the Magic won 2 more games than the Heat did last year. I mean, they were a play-in tournament team. They ended up as the 8th seed in the East.
A lot of people thought it was a coaching problem with Mosley.
Yeah, and it could have been. For sure, it could have been. Clearly, Mosley and Banchero didn't like each other. Like, that was as obvious to anybody. But Banchero or Bam, I know you're going to call me a Heat homer, but I'm taking the guy who has been to 2 NBA finals compared to the guy who's never been out of the first round and who has never won a playoff series. Like, I think that's genuinely just a bad take, saying that you take Banchero over Bam Adebayo.
I love to argue with you, but I agree with you on this one. If I have to choose to play with Bam or Banchero, I'm picking. You know, I love it. I only know Paolo Banchero, whatever his name is. He is a very talented young man, but he's 23. Not Bam Adebayo. The age would be the difference, Solana, because Bam's going on year 10.
I genuinely love watching Paolo Banchero play. Like, I genuinely do. But when you think about fit next to Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Bam this year turned into I'm not saying Steph Curry, but he turned into a reliable
got
threat.
More national recognition than he ever received before.
No, but he turned into a reliable outside shooter. Again, I'm not saying he's Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, who called himself the second greatest shooter of all time yesterday on Twitter. But I think he's a quality and reliable shooter. Now,
Dame said he was the second best shooter of all time?
Yeah, Damian Lillard on Twitter yesterday called himself the second greatest shooter of all time.
Does Ray Allen not? I know Steph is going to be considered one just for starters. Ray from three, little Peja Stojakovic.
You always gotta no, Gilby. You always gotta check Solana's facts. And I know you say I go to stats a lot. Last year he shot lower percentage from the three-point line than he did the last 2 years.
Yeah, but Crowder, yes, 100%. But he took significantly. I'm talking about. I'm going to look up the numbers here. Bam Adebayo last year hit more threes in the first 2.5, 3 months of the season than he did in his previous 9 seasons combined. Like it you know what I mean? Like he took so many more threes that you can't just say, oh, well, his shooting percentage was lower. Well, yeah, I mean, he took significantly more attempts.
And that's something you could develop more. Like, remember Brook Lopez? He didn't shoot a three ever. And then towards the end of it, when he was in Milwaukee, he was popping threes all the time. Barry Jackson, by the way. Magic could offer, he was responding to this Kevin O'Connor, Ramona Shelburne tweet. Magic could offer only one tradable first, a package with the highly skilled but injury-prone Franz Wagner and a first-rounder. Other pieces easily could be top, but if the Magic offer Banchero, game over, though what would then be left makes that situation appealing to Giannis. Like, if Banchero's not there, Giannis is not going to be there, I would imagine.
And just thinking about, like, to your point, Gabe, he's 23. Is Giannis thinking about 10 years from now?
No, he's thinking
he's not young. Like he's older. Bam's older. Let's get together and go do something.
So do you think those two together, and I know Solana's going to say yes, but like I'm just genuinely asking. Like I talked to this guy, Law Murray from The Athletic. I'm not saying it's like he's the God's gift of basketball, but he brought up the point, and I never thought about it this way. He goes, I don't really know how Giannis and Bam would fit together. So would that be a match made in heaven?
Let me go first, Solana. I know you have some thoughts, and I know you're going to go on. I have a quick thought. One of the best front courts in basketball. Who's dribbling it down the court? Who is 1, 2, and 3? Because them at the 4 and 5 would be stupid. But now 1, 2, and 3, what's that going to be?
What, Davion Mitchell didn't convince you with 28 points in the in the playing tournament game?
I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
By the way, I looked up the numbers because I had actually seen a tweet about this earlier in the morning from the Heat versus Haters account, which doesn't help my case. But in his first
account, by the way, is everywhere.
Yeah.
And that is in my algorithm now. There is not a time I go on Twitter where I do not see a tweet from that account.
In his first 8 seasons, Bam Adebayo made 102 three-pointers. In his first 8 seasons, combined. This season, Crowder, he made 127 of them. I mean, again,
that's crazy. No. To your point, to make 102 in 8 years and make 127 in 1 year, they opened up the floor. They did that whole speed thing, and he thrived in it.
All I'm saying, because I know this is going to turn into you or the listeners holding me accountable and saying, "Oh, you're calling Bam Adebayo Kevin Durant," and I'm not.
No, you're saying he's Wilt Chamberlain. That's what you're saying.
But I do think that Bam has shown you, especially this year, that he can evolve his game. And if he has Giannis as his running mate, and Giannis is going to have the ball, and Giannis is going to drive, Bam has shown you that he's evolved that part of his game to where you're comfortable with him. I'm not saying that's the ideal shot, but you're comfortable with him being on the perimeter now and creating from there or shooting from there. And Gelb, I do think, to Crowder's point, there is a massive question mark. Yeah, who has the ball in the backcourt? Who are the shooters going to be on this team? Because it can't be Bam Adebayo as your best shooter. But to me, all that gets solved once it happens, because you can talk about Norman Powell. Maybe you don't trade Andrew Wiggins for a year. Or who are the guys that are going to want to come play with Giannis Antetokounmpo in Miami? I think there will be a list of players, whether this offseason or the following one.
You know, I also wonder this. When the Heat were doing this, when the Celtics were doing this, and you'd bring in these stars, it did feel, even with LeBron too, when he went back to Cleveland and LA, it did feel as if there was an exodus of players that would just go join the team and take friendly contracts. Now with there not being a super team in the league, like where it's 3 stars on a team. I wonder if the Giannis Bam star power will really attract a lot of guys to want to come to Miami. I just wonder that. I don't think so.
Next year, that's because you're watching. Like, if I can get to Boston, if I can get to the Knicks, Solana, don't roll your eyes. If a great player can get to the Knicks, if they end up losing to the West, or I can get to OKC, or I can get to Minnesota, or I can get to one of those places, like, where I want to come to Miami is Bam. I'm kind of on that side. Is Bam Giannis better than Gobert and them boys? Gobert and AI. I mean, AE. I'd rather play with Gobert and AE.
Then you got to live in Minnesota, though.
I love Minnesota. I go skiing there every year, Gilby. I didn't know if you knew that.
But
is this a safe space, by the way? My best friend's brother is getting married in Minnesota. All the moms do not want to go to Minnesota Labor Day weekend. I'll tell you that, at least from what I'm hearing.
Gilby, Buck Hill. Buck Hill is a great ski location, a great chalet. It's beautiful.
I went to Minnesota once. My beer at Super Bowl party, my beer got frozen when I stepped outside. I said, where'd it go? Got frozen.
It's a little chilly up there.
There's one family in the world, Gelb, that believes Minnesota is a great skiing destination, and that is the Crowders.
Now we know Crowder was a big Biden guy. Remember that club, Minnesota?
Gelby, every
He's more
year
Abdul Carter than Jackson Dart.
we go to Minnesota every year to go skiing. February.
By the way,
can I just circle back for a quick second? Now all of a sudden, like, Ramona Shelburne, and by the way, I think she's a great reporter. I'm not questioning her reports. It makes sense. It makes sense to me that the Magic should now be in the conversation, or at least considered a landing spot for Giannis because of their new head coach's ties to Giannis. Like, I get that. I understand that. But what are we doing with the Orlando Magic? Somebody explain this to me. Because now everybody that I follow that's an NBA person is like, oh, watch out for the Magic. Watch out for the Magic. So you're telling me Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to leave the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's going to try to put himself in a position to go play with a first-time head coach who has no real coaching experience as a head coach in the NBA.
But knows him.
He knows him, but he could be a great coach. I don't know, but nobody knows yet, right? First-year head coach to an organization that has never won an NBA title, which is what he wants to do at the end of his career. Go compete for a title with a team that doesn't have draft capital to actually pull off this trade, and a core that literally has not been out of the first round of the playoffs with Paolo Banchero. Does anybody else find this weird that now this is like the hot thing to say over the past hour or two? Oh, watch out for the Magic. Why? Because their new head coach used to coach alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they were cool.
But then what's the difference of then someone saying, like, all right, yeah, you tell me that the Heat, obviously they won all these championships. They have 3 in their franchise existent, a organization that gets the benefit of the doubt, but it's not like they're close even if Giannis comes here yet.
And I agree, which is, by the way, why I don't think that this is a shoo-in. I told you that to start the show, Gelby. Like, everybody's talking about Miami like it's done. It's a done deal. And I'm not willing to do that yet because I don't think it's a done deal. I don't think Giannis is convinced he's coming here, he's winning a title. But when you're just talking about fit and what it is Giannis wants in this next chapter of his career, an organization that has proven to you they can land a whale, land a superstar, and build a contender around them. The Heat have that. And they have a head coach with a proven track record who has relationships with a lot of these guys because he coached with Team USA, who's highly regarded as the best, if not the second or third best coach in the NBA, and a roster that over the past couple seasons, at the very least, Gelb, was competing in deep in the playoffs.
So,
like,
Solana,
compared to the Magic, who haven't done anything.
No. Solana, I'll tell you, and you made some great points. A better organization, basketball-wise, NBA-wise, is Miami Heat. Pat Riley, Spo, Hall of Fame. Comfort level means something to people. Like Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan tried to get me out of retirement. I would go play for Mike Nolan before I just went and played for the Texans back then because I didn't know anybody. Giannis is a grown, rich man. Comfort level means something to him. So the reports are saying, and Ramona Shelbourne and Sham Charania and all these people, I don't know who they talk to, but I will tell you from an athlete's perspective, for him to know a guy in that building and that guy be able to call his cell phone and be like, bro, come down here, jump in here with Banchero, and we're going to do something, like it means something human-wise more than the big picture, whatever ESPN's talking about.
All righty, we'll take a break. When we come on back, why I'm actually rooting for Tua Tagovailoa this season. And also, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, a little bit sensitive. We got to get to a story there.
He's Canadian.
No, very sensitive. Let me tell you about those Canadians. Jeez, very sensitive in something that I read. All righty, it's more Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk after this.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
Jimmy, you know how to make a hot tea?
No, I do not.
You know the ingredients of tea?
Water.
Ahora sí, los dueños del swing.
Alrighty, it's the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour brought to you by our friends at Funky Buddha Brewery. Good vibes on tap. It's a little Friday. You get those drinks flowing. We get set for what's going to be a kick-ass weekend, and the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana crew will be back on Monday right at 2 p.m. Zach Gelbin for Mark Hochman. I want to just throw this by you guys, and I think that this will surprise you because for the last 3 or 4 years that I've been coming on your show as a guest, I was very anti-Tua, just not thinking that he was that good, and I didn't like Mike McDaniel. I sit here in this next chapter. I think Mike McDaniel will have success with the Chargers, and then he will get another head coaching job, and then he will fail once again as a head coach because he's more of an offensive coordinator than he is as a head coach. But for Tua, I'm kind of surprised how polarizing Tua has become with the fan base. Like, last year was a mess, and he didn't take accountability. But I think if Tua goes to Atlanta this year and has a solid season, I'm kind of not rooting against Tua. I'm rooting for Tua because of all the concussions that he went through. I get it, the ending stunk, but I really do feel like he gave it his all here at Miami. It just simply wasn't good enough, and he was just never healthy.
Gilby, I will say that Brian Flores started Tua's career off with already a funny look at the quarterback. You draft a guy number 5, now he's benched, now he's playing, now he's benched. And then when they start him, then he gets knocked to sleep and does the fencing thing and all that. Like the matriculation, the meandering of his career was crazy. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons fans know that. I think they're just having another quarterback come in. So I'm with you. I think he can be an okay quarterback. I guaranteed it the other day, Solana. We were talking about it. Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert are about to be a problem for the AFC West. Like, he's a great OC. For you to say he's going to get another head coaching job with all the stuff that went on down here, I don't think he gets another job. I think he is going to be a very good OC for a talented Justin Herbert, athletic young quarterback, 6'6". He's not getting knocked out. And I think Tua will be a journeyman quarterback, jumping around, no franchise guy anymore, and just do what he does, gets paid a bunch of money.
Yeah, but people like bizarre. I always felt as if I was on the outside of the inside joke with Mike McDaniel. People like Mike McDaniel. I personally don't think he's a great leader of men, and I think he is more of a doormat than just a guy that could be a player's coach with a backbone. He to me is a doormat. He did make the playoffs though twice, and people love offense in this league. Like, if Adam Gase got 2 jobs as a head coach, Mike McDaniel can't get 2 jobs as a head coach in this league?
Gilby, I don't think so because of
can't find one dumb franchise.
Now, listen,
there's a lot of them.
Now Adam Gase was crazy to me because the eyes and what we've heard about Gase from who was that? The running back, the crazy running back.
Le'Veon Bell, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff you're hearing, but you could tell he was different, but he was a man's man. He was a testosterone-filled man. I think that when people start asking about Mike McDaniel, and to your point, I think they're going to be like, no, these players are going to run him over. Like, he has no – Gelby, think about this.
You don't like Lululemon? I got Lululemon joggers. I'm not wearing the capris, but you don't like Lululemon joggers?
Gelby, the stories we hear is that people would come late to meetings and just tell him, I'm late. And he'd be like, we're going to find you. And he'd be like, well, I'm going to be late tomorrow too. Like, I would never say that to Nick Saban or Bill Parcells or the guys I played for. Yes. It's like he had too much leeway. Pushover is a strong word, but you have to have you got to have a little stank to you to be around dudes that are making $30 million a year and know they're great at their job. You have to earn your respect. And I think Mike McDaniel can never earn his respect because he's too nice and off-white ones and capri pants and all that. Like, every player is gonna look at him and be like, okay, coach, yeah, I'll be there about 10. Meeting starts at 8:30. I'll be there about 10.
Solana, you use the same stylist as Mike McDaniel, just wondering? Your microphone's muted.
I do probably shop at the same places that Mike McDaniel shops at. Yeah, I do fancy myself a capri wear. There's no doubt
Why
about
do y'all
it.
like y'all ankles out so much?
Why do you cover your ankles so much?
Because I'm a man.
You think, hey, Gelb, you think Dolphins fans are rooting against Tua?
Yeah,
think-
it feels that way.
You think so, Crowder? You think so?
I think what Flores made him that softy, and then now you see the softy persona get knocked out multiple times, and now you're like, man, we done pay this man $250 million, and he doing this to us. I think Dolphin fans are rooting against him. I'm not, but I think Dolphin fans are.
And he also didn't take accountability at the end. And then also when he got to Atlanta, he was blaming everybody but himself.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Dolphins fans, the majority, were sick of Tua by the end of it. And I think most of them welcomed the Dolphins cutting ties with him, even at a major cost to how the Dolphins reshaped the first year of the rebuild. I don't think it's that they're rooting against Tua. I just think Dolphins fans are sick of him. They don't want to hear about him anymore. And they don't want to see the guy who they drafted 5th overall, they paid $250 million to, and was supposed to be the player that won them their first playoff game in 2 decades.
Yeah.
Go have success elsewhere when the Dolphins have seen that time and time again. Ryan Tannehill is a perfect example. We can go back to Wes Welker being another great example. We've seen that so many times in Miami. And for it to happen with Tua, I think would just be demoralizing to Dolphins fans.
And the craziest part of this, Gelb, I think 2023, the number 1 offense in the league, I think it made it worse because it was almost a tease.
Oh, absolutely. And then also that Dolphins game up against the Broncos and all. There are some moments that you just think of.
Solana, tell Gelby, I can't stand people that talk about the 70-point game.
See, it's almost like you guys think I just only come on this show when I host it or I'm a guest. I listen. I know your takes. I see the social media clips. I'm young. I'm not old man Crowder that I got to explain what the Instagram is, all right? I see everything. This Yahoo, I know we got to get to headlines, but I was reading this in Yahoo Sports. You can give Oklahoma City Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a hard time over his propensity for getting to the free throw line, but you can't make money off of it. Lawyers for Gilgeous-Alexander reportedly sent a cease and desist to Underdog Sports after the company used SGA's name to try and sell board games that poke fun at his style of play per The Athletic. That board game, called Unethical Hoops, is a play on operation, but instead of trying to perform surgery on a patient, players are trying to take a ball away from a basketball player named Shai, who bears a striking resemblance to Gilgeous-Alexander without fouling him. That's genius by Underdog, and I understand SGA doesn't want that out there, and he wants the benefit on his own brand. Stop being a big baby about it.
That's soft on Shai. Like, we know what's going on. I've said it. Play the game how to play it. The game is being played, Gelby. I don't criticize
Soft
guys for
Gilgeous-Alexander. That's what the S now stands for in SGA.
But I watched Dwayne Wade, who I love to death. He sends me shoes. I watched LeBron. Solana, I've watched these guys fly into the 18th row when a guy flicks them in the wrist. When it benefits us, we like it. When it doesn't, you don't. It's how the game is being officiated. Criticize the officials. Don't criticize the players.
Who's softer? SGA or Jimmy? I heard Jimmy. I thought he was like deathly sick. I just heard it was a little asthma, like Piggy in the Outliers.
He was hungover, bro. I know this game.
It was bronchitis.
Nobody has bronchitis for 6 hours.
Yeah, you don't sound great, Jimmy. You sound like you're hocking up a lung.
Oh, I was on Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I mean his nickname is Jimmy Menthols. This guy smokes a pack of menthols a week. I mean, this guy's ripping heaters left and right.
All righty, Solana, let's get to headlines, so then we got to get to Jared Greenberg.
Hey, quickly.
Yeah.
If I have my grandma on speed dial, is that Instagram?
Ba-dum-bum. You know, we at least got to laugh at the old guy's jokes. Like that's like when my dad tells a joke and you don't find it funny, but you don't want to hurt his feelings, so you just go, "All righty, yeah." Play the Oscar music, clap him off the stage.
That's what you end the week with, huh?
Yeah.
You youngins want to call me old man Crowder. I thought I was going to relate with you with the Instagram punchline.
You know,
I like
next time when you say that, just have the toothpick coming out of your mouth. You know, you're turning more into Randy by the day.
Wow.
my knees are getting worse.
I will say, when I got up from my chair, I never do this, but after sitting here for 5 hours, I'm like, oh, my back is killing me. Now I feel like Crowder.
Don't worry about it. Wait 10 years. Watch this.
Do the hobble. Look like I always have to go to the bathroom and drop a deuce in the ocean.
Watch this. You get naked in the ocean. That's crazy. That's nuts.
I don't get naked. I just drop the drawers and then go to the bathroom in the water so I'm not sitting in it in my compression shorts. And I know it will wash away, but geez, it's not that difficult here.
Crazy, man. Crazy. If you see Zach Gelb in the ocean, get out of there.
You know, they say I'm a grower and a shower. I guess that's what they say.
Saltwater snake. Ugh.
Now I'm never going to do it again. I'm going to be afraid that a shark gets it. There goes Gelb Jr.
The 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour. The 5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour, brought to you by our friends at Funky Buddha Brewery. Good vibes are on tap. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. By the way, Crowder, don't you dare compare what Dwayne Wade did to manipulate defenses into actually
Harden's better, by
fouling
the
him.
way.
Harden?
Yeah.
No,
I will jump on a flight and fight you, Gelb. If you're saying James Harden is better than Dwayne Wade.
It was a joke. It went right over your head.
Yeah, but no. But James does it. I've seen Wade do it. I saw LeBron do it. I've seen multiple people play the game.
It's not what
If
SGA
I can
is
get
doing. Sorry. It's not.
It's exactly what he's doing.
It's not. SGA, and by the way, I like SGA. He's literally foul baiting, and then when he doesn't get the foul, he just falls to the ground.
It's the whole
single
league,
time.
though.
Yeah, but SGA is doing it in a much. I guess he takes more shots. To be fair,
It's the whole league. The NBA does two things: they foul bait, and then they twirl their finger for a replay. Those are the only two things they do when you watch a game.
Everybody wants a replay. Get your ass on defense.
There is some breaking news. We know that the Magic have a new head coach, Sean Sweeney, leaving the San Antonio Spurs bench. The Cavaliers have named Mike Ganzi as their the Cavaliers' current general manager, Mike Ganzi, has agreed to become the new president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers. He takes over Daryl Morey's job.
Another overrated guy, Daryl Morey.
James Harden loves him.
He made him rich.
Not anymore. No, they went at it. They used to, and then they went at it, and he called him a liar. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
remember that like event he was doing with kids, and he used it as a platform to say Daryl Morey's a liar. I will never play for a team that is run by Daryl Morey. There is some Marlins news. They do play tonight, open up that 3-game series against the Mets over the weekend, but they did put Yuri Perez on the 15-day IL with right gracilis strain. Does that sound right, Crowder? Right? Gracilis strain?
Gracilis strain.
Is that something you smoke?
About to say, sativa indica.
Crowder, what are you doing after the show, buddy? I'll get on the first flight down there. We'll be hanging. Then we'll go to Tootsie's.
What does he have?
The
gracilis strain.
The gracilis muscle. The longest, thinnest, and most superficial muscle in the inner thigh.
The groin.
Oh, no, it's the gracilis muscle.
No.
Well, that's what happened. So Yuri will be on the 15-day DL. Don't forget, tomorrow is Game 7, 8 p.m., Oklahoma City, hosting the San Antonio Spurs.
Is that it?
Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 88 degrees. Tonight, the lows will be in the mid-70s. That's brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
You know, I'm 1,000 miles per hour, Channing, and those pauses in headlines, I'll just never get the rhythm on it. Never.
Well, I listen to you as well. Yeah, and you have your pace is a lot different than our pace.
Yeah, I got to go do that Gracilis or whatever stuff with you guys.
You have a
afterwards.
New
Maybe
York
I'll calm
pace.
down.
Yeah, you have a New York traffic pace.
I got to get Miami. I got to just chill and be good vibe. Show up late, 2 minutes, 2 minutos. I just got to chill a little bit. That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Jared Greenberg's going to join us next. It's Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. Zach Gelbin for Hawk. Coming on back with Jared Greenberg from TNT.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Hamburger.
Go.